Et si vous aimez les enseignes Néo, vous pourriez aller voir la boutique de Michelangelo.
Daddy, I'm ready for you. There we were.
What's up, baby?
Two Chinese men said,
You're
hey,
super
how
cute.
are you?
I'm not
I
gonna lie.
shook the left
Holy
hand,
shit.
shook my right.
Holy
Got kinda
shit,
frisky
chat.
all night. Shook our booty for the Chinaman, shaking our
Damn,
booty for
dude.
Jackie Chan. Jackie
I'm not
Chan.
gonna lie.
Shake
How you
the booty
doing?
for the
On a different note, if you guys go and get a tri-tip, a pre-marinated tri-tip, pro tip, you go like this.
We're going in. Today
Part
we're
3 of The Wasteland.
T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland.
And frankly,
It's been a day.
I'm nervous.
There really is
I want to do it right.
too much to say.
I want to get
Says
it
Henry
right.
James.
I want
In his
to
preface to a portrait of the
convey
lady.
at least a
Check
tenth
out my video on that
of what
Actually,
I
prop
can glean
up
from this.
my chair's
y'all.
and you know what? My recliner
I know
here.
I can
Let's
do
see
it.
if I can actually. Can we tweak
Or I
this
know
a
I
little
can
bit?
have fun trying.
It ain't,
So let's
it
do
ain't a
this.
Dream Banger special if we don't start tweaking.
The
Hold up.
beginning
Is that right?
is Latin
up.
transcription.
Is this good? Is this comfortable?
Let's.
Is this how
let's start
T.S.
just by
Eliot read
reading
it back in the day?
For Sibyllum,
Yeah,
certainly
what was I talking about? Who was I talking
by
to?
Cumis, I myself
When I
saw
alluded to the
an Ampula
idea
weighing,
that-
and with him,
depending on how we're sitting
said
down,
to
it
the
totally
boys,
changes the way we think.
Sibylla, you
Yeah,
will.
just the other night, I was
And he
feeling kind
responded,
of bad and down on the
I
our
will
new couch,
death.
and I decided to sit
Or I
and lay
will to
down on my
die.
side,
Like
just having my
Shakespeare,
head,
I have a little Latin,
maybe my blood
and
flowing
less
to a
Greek.
certain side, just totally
But
calm.
my God,
Kant talks about this at one point
what
to one of
Eliot,
his friends.
what-
Lichtenberg
what
mentions it.
what
I can hardly freaking start lecturing.
da-da-do,
in a minute, and I start bringing in a
da-da-do-do.
German.
Shouts out Macklemore. But
Part
what
3,
Eliot's doing
the fire
here
sermon.
in the beginning is, first of all, he's got
The river's
Latin
tent is
and
broken.
Greek. So
The
boy did his homework.
Quick little summary so far.
T.S.
Uh,
Eliot, premier scholar,
In the first book, we covered the
born
history
in
of
the
the
South,
world, the
transatlantic. So he had
the history of
half
humankind.
British,
It was the burial of the dead.
which I
Yes,
Couldn't even-
post World War, but it's
halfway get.
I've never been
But
one
he did
to
his
be
homework.
like, man,
He did his homework.
this poem is enigmatic, or this
Why
poem
I'm
is
kinda tripping
representative of
Over
this
Eliot
event
recently is
and this event
if
only.
I'm obsessed
Yes,
with
we
this
can
guy named
return to it and use it as a touchstone.
in
Uh,
2025.
but if we just say, "Oh, this poem is
T.S.
that event,"
Eliot,
okay, why are we even reading it
post
then?
World War One,
But yeah, the burial of the dead.
certainly
just
must have
really
read Oswald's
summative
Finger.
of-
I really get ahead of myself, but the idea of my
Everything.
head shooting everywhere and already
Sorry, I
grabbing
can't
all
use the word summative. I've been
illusions
traumatized by being 3 years a high school
is-
teacher.
is
Never
a
heard
sign
the
of
word
what
summative.
what it might be
informative
doing to us.
like I have before. Might as well take a drill to my head. But
but we have
yeah,
Sibyllum
we're talking,
and
we're talking about
Cumis, Roman
seasons. We're
two.
talking about eternal recurrence.
I
We're
don't
talking
know
about
what
shadow
I
rising and
that's-
falling. We're talking about allusions
What I
to
like that
Jesus
the word
coming out
Sibyl-
under the
word
red
Sibyl
rock.
kind of,
Son of man, son of man.
Is a sign.
But in Germany,
Actually,
snow,
yes,
winter,
that is
dawn.
pretty strong. Sibyl is
I'm a
kind
little
of a
girl
sign.
going down a sled. I'm free.
But
I'm a
the
bird
main
as
thing
well.
going on here is
And then after
this
after all
Roman
that,
friend is saying,
you have the
Sibyl,
people in the London
will,
streets,
or
and
you
so
wish.
and
Sibyl
the
says, "I will to die."
narrator
Now,
or
T.S. Eliot to say this in
poet
1914.
calling out the reader,
First of all,
saying,
to say
"You,
it for all
you doppelganger,
for
you
all time.
hypocrite, you
but
reader,
to say this 100 years ago is already
my
like,
brother."
man, you
That's
might as
how
well
it
get a
ends,
bonus for
on
saying it 100
ending
years
on
ago.
an appellative.
Because
Ending-
right now
I'm calling something out. Wait, can I get a little
these
see if I get a
main
little more comfy? I'm not too
ideas
comfy
of the world
Ow.
to will
Give myself a wedgie
and to die.
This is also
We
a
can have
chair, I
whole
can't-
video essays.
Okay.
Right now,
I want to
whole
sit comfy,
video
but I also
essays.
want to be in a shot. Hold up. All right.
Every time I
Eliot's.
even
This is the
signal
wasteland,
there's
baby.
going to be a video essay. I need to
3,
get
the
up
fire
and
sermon.
moving. I need to be moving. I need to hold our attention. I need to hold my attention.
The river's tent is
Keep
broken.
it going. The word will
The last
and
fingers
and the
of leaf
word and
clutch
death.
and sink into the
Do
wet
it. Okay.
bank.
Can we agree that death?
The
I don't
wind
need to talk
crosses
about
the
death.
brown land
Can we agree
unheard.
that death
The nymphs are departed.
is
Sweet
premier
Thames,
when it comes
run
to
softly,
eternal
play
ideas?
in my song.
I don't need to say more.
The river bears no
Uh,
empty bottles.
But this
sandwich
word
papers,
will. Now I
silk
got my
handkerchiefs,
Shakespeare
cardboard
downstairs.
boxes, cigarette ends, or
Under
other
Frida-
testimony of summer nights.
Frida Kahlo's
The
dress.
nymphs are departed.
And
and their friends,
making
the
our
Lord
plans
Ring
grow
heirs
really well.
of city
That's what
directors
Shakespeare
departed
is doing
have
right
left no addresses.
But Will, here's my Schopenhauer. Here's my Schopenhauer.
Oh, my wife
collection
doesn't
right here. I
see
have
this.
my just
My
because I don't want to
Schopenhauer
tarnishing
bookies
my furniture
or
but,
so. Are you
kidding me?
his
Dude,
main
are you
work
kidding
is
me? As Will in
This guy-
representation.
It's so
Talk about
loaded.
a foremost philosopher and
The river.
and my
The river
my
is the first
my
two
thought
words.
granddaddy.
Schopenhauer, man.
River run.
How can I condense this
Adam
will?
Eve through bend and broke, whatever the opening line of Finnegan's
Think
way.
about it's not
is-
quite desire, but
The river, the idea
Eliot
of the
is going
river.
to
If
bring
you've
up
ever
desire
gone
really
camping with
quick.
your friends
It's
and
not
you slept next to a
quite
rushing
desire.
winter
According to
river,
Schopenhauer,
river.
it's what
Have you ever
all of
slept
us
and have you ever bathed in a cold river and
know
been there on those
what all of
summer
us
nights?
strive to.
This mother effer,
It's really
T.S.
what we
Eliot,
know. It's not quite
uses the
ourselves.
phrase "summer nights." It reminds me of earlier when he said, "Oh man, she's got a wicked pack of cards."
I have things.
This dude
underlined.
is
I
is
should
modern
be a
as
good scholar.
all
and
heck.
tell you, but at the same
This
time,
might as well be.
maybe
This
I
might as
should
well be
go to
written.
the top of my head. What
yesteryear.
will is William Shakespeare.
Will really?
Oh, hold up.
It's modern. It
Grandma's
lasts.
dead. What did her will
River's
say? Oh, here
tent
comes
is
all the
broken.
creepers.
The last fingers of leaf. How many
Will.
ideas can you fit in one line? Can you
What's
see me? How many ideas can you
really
fit in
what
one
Schopenhauer
line?
is saying by the
River
will is
tent
is
the river's tent is broken. Wait,
a mix of our feeling, our desire, our heart.
River and
Our
tent.
heart
You
is our
think
will.
Tent? I think Indian.
Hurting someone, when you hurt
Broken.
someone, you feel that. When you
The
feel that in
idea
your
of something
heart,
being
that's your
broke
will.
last.
That's
Something
really-
being
that really
last.
is your
Last
will. You feel that.
fingers at that. The
So,
last fingers.
T.S. Eliot
of leaf.
making this guy say
And then the second line
to another
clutch
Roman,
and sink
making him
into
say
the
to a
wet
Roman
bank.
some odd years ago.
If you recall, he's
will.
he's keeping us up.
And then what is
He's
it?
keeping us
in
up for
Greek?
sure.
He says that in Greek.
He's keeping our
You
tents
will.
pitched.
And the guy
Because
says,
if you recall,
I will
that question in part one. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of the stony rubbish?
T.S. Eliot
Fast
ever
forward to
made
the
this
fire
face.
sermon.
I wonder if he ever made this.
The last fingers of leaf clutch and sink into the wet bank. Okay,
I got his letters right here. Haven't really dived into
What are
them.
the roots that grow? Hold up. Okay, well we have last fingers
Haven't
of
dived
leaf.
into
It's
them
not
at all.
quite a
Hold the
root.
really.
There is a story here. There
One,
is a
the
story.
burial of the
My
dead.
God, it's not just rambling as much.
So
as,
we're starting with burying
my
the dead.
disconnected head makes
April
it
is
so.
the cruelest month,
Uh,
breeding lilacs
the
out of
wind
the dead
crosses
land,
the brown
mixing
land,
memory and desire,
unheard.
stirring dull roots with spring rain.
The nymphs are
Winter kept us
departed.
warm, covering
So
earth
repeat,
in forgetful
departed,
snow,
departed.
feeding a
Who
little
knows?
life.
Martin
with striped
Scorsese
slippers.
probably wouldn't have.
Summer
You see?
surprised us,
Hold up.
coming over the Starnberg.
Martin Scorsese probably
shower
wouldn't
of
have
rain. We stopped in the colony
directed the
and went on in
Departed
sunlight into the
were it
Hofgarten.
not for this. And you know,
We drank
I know
coffee
it's
and
based
talked for an hour.
on an Asian
Bin kein
movie.
Wussen.
Please, someone check me.
Echt Deutsch.
Whether or not I'm still
And
going to
when we
stand
were
on
children
business
staying
on
at
this.
the Archduke's,
Because guess what?
my cousin,
Even if the original Asian
took me on a
title
sled,
translates to
and I
the
was frightened.
Departed,
he said,
the zeitgeist is
Mary,
there. All right, you
or
can
Marie,
always depend on the
Marie,
zeitgeist. When in
hold on
doubt,
tight.
when in doubt,
And down we
when our
went.
critical lens
In
fails
the
us and our
mountains,
critical
there you feel
apparatus
free.
starts going haywire,
read
you can fall back on
much
the
of the night
zeitgeist, baby.
and go south in the winter.
The nymphs are departed.
right.
Sweet Thames,
This
run
first
softly
stanza is
till I
freaking
end my song.
Loaded, man.
Okay,
It's
now
loaded.
we have an I. And
Let's
an
get some
This
of
is
the
fire
more,
sermon. Not yet have we
professorial
had the poet come forth and
references
say,
out of the
"I
way.
am seeing a song."
April is the
In the
coolest
beginning,
month.
it was Marie going down
Okay.
a sled.
Jeffrey
But even
Chaucer
that,
begins
April is the coolest
Canterbury
month. bringing
Tales.
Lilacs
One
out
that
of the dead
April
land,
with his shower
mixing memory and
the
desire,
tract of March
stirring dull roots with spring rain.
and bathed
So many points of view. That's kind of that
the vein in
omniscient
such liquor.
point of view, straight to Mary,
My Chaucer's a
Marie.
little rusty, but
And now we
Geoffrey
have someone
Chaucer,
singing
the
Fire
father of
Sermon.
English history. Sorry, the father
But-
of English. I apologize. Geoffrey Chaucer.
Regardless of the point of
man,
view,
talk about someone who
everything
very
is
underrated.
covered. The
And in fact,
river
if
bears.
Schopenhauer would have read his
This is how
Chaucer,
our mind works.
might have,
I know it means the river
might have
bears
just
no
been a little
empty
more
balls.
loved.
I know it's
He
a
might have
bearing,
loved
a
a little
burden
more.
on our shoulder.
but unfortunately,
you read
probably
the
very
river
inaccessible
bears.
to him being in Germany. But Geoffrey Chaucer.
I haven't even said anything about the bare naked ladies. Bear.
T.S. Eliot
butts
is
and bears
subverting
and balls
Geoffrey
and
Chaucer.
bees.
That's all we got.
OGs.
And
The river
I get it.
bears
I
no
totally
empty
get it.
bottles.
Who gives a crap,
Sandwich
buddy?
papers.
I don't give a
Silk
crap if
handkerchiefs,
he's subverting.
cardboard
What'd
boxes,
you say, Geoffrey
cigarette
Chaucer?
ends, or other testimony of
What
summer
is it?
nights.
What's the
The
point?
nymphs are departed. All right, so not only does he paint this picture
Well,
of
let's
summer
talk about
nights and
April.
gives us these
Is April a
images
cruel
that
month?
Hold the
no
phone.
doubt
What month is it?
you
I
relate
spit
to.
so much on my.
He calls them
bamboo.
testimony. This is our
Office.
testimony.
Matt.
Those are the modern testimony. Oh my God! Just
Hold the phone.
to
It's almost
recalibrate
April.
the way we
Is it a
think
cruel
about
month?
things,
Is
man.
it truly cruel for the rain to begin? Is it cruel for
I say more?
springtime, baby? Is this cruel?
And their friends,
Is it?
the nymphs' friends, the loitering
April
heirs
is the
of city
cruelest month.
directors
I've-
departed.
Ask.
have
I want you
left
to
no
ask
address.
12
Triple
people.
departed
Hey man,
drop.
if you had to
Have
call
left no
one of the
addresses.
months cruel, what would it be?
It's
probably gonna be,
addresses. What does it mean to have an address? To
One of
address
those
someone.
dark and grim months.
Have left no address.
So
There's
for
been
him to
no
say
addresses.
April is
no
the
me
coolest
talking
month.
to you, no me staying somewhere. It's done.
And we're supposed to trust
Get
poets.
it through
That's
your
the thing.
thick skull,
Oh, I'm a
McFly.
poet. Trust me, buddy.
Hello. Hey, butthead.
Okay, you
hey,
got me. Let me trust you.
butthead.
Let me
You
see what
reading
you gotta
poetry
say.
today?
April is the coolest
Butthead.
month. Green.
McFly.
Lilacs out of the dead land mixing, memory and desire
the 1920s
stirring,
way.
dull roots.
Me
with
reading
spring
T.S.
rain.
Eliot in 1920.
Hey,
All right, so
hey,
this,
Oswald Spengler.
this
You know that new
the
sound
second
you've been
line,
looking
lilacs
for?
out of the dead land.
Well,
mixing
listen to this.
Walt Whitman.
Except no,
And on
Oswald
my
Spengler had his
master's-
wings clipped by philosophy, as John Keats
I
would
don't know
put
what
it.
you can call it. My master's
yeah,
exit
what John
exam,
Keats
I was
said is,
faced with three professors.
Pretty much, philosophers are
And
those
this is
guys
one of a
and
few
gals that
questions
have their
I
wings
did not
clipped.
get
Those
correct. I said,
angels
what's
who have
that
their
second
wings
line
clipped.
referencing? I had to pick
For
30
philosophy.
books. Or
Poetry,
30
baby.
poems. And
I
kind
say
of
that, but after I
master
break
them.
for this video, I'm gonna
And I
go back to
failed
my Spengler.
this part and saying, hey, that's a reference to
By the
Whitman.
waters of Lemon, I sat down.
But lilacs
and
out of the
wept.
dead land mixing. So
by the
within
okay,
two
that's
lines we have,
by the waters
not
of
counting
Lemon, I
the
sat down
introduction,
and
which-
wept.
I will
Dot,
to
dot,
die.
dot.
We have April. We have cruelty, which is
We
huge.
got to listen to
We
the
have lilacs.
punctuation
Okay, we
in
got a
poetry.
flower. You went two
Especially-
lines. You already got a flower.
When
Good
we
on you,
begin to
Mr.
trust
Eliot.
those that
more
use it
flowers,
well.
please. More flowers. More.
We got to
birds,
listen to the
more
line breaks
bees.
and the stanza breaks.
lilacs out of the dead
Elliot
land
taught me this.
mixing. We
Or
have
reminded
mixing.
me, however you want to put it.
We have breeding.
in the very first stanza of,
we have all
of the
these major
poem.
concepts.
Bear
in our
with me as we
head.
go back for a second.
Memory and
Marie,
desire.
hold on tight.
During dull roots with
And
spring
down
rain.
we
Now, it's
went.
one thing for me to talk about the illusion.
Okay,
Another,
and just
thing for me
hold that
to
for a
talk
thought.
about
That
these
line break, and
major
then
concepts
in the
that are at
mountains,
play.
there you feel free.
But listen to what this man has to say.
I'm feeling free.
April is the coolest
I
month.
read much of the night
Breeding
and go
lilacs
south
on
in the
dead
winter.
land,
Between those
mixing
breaks, there's
memory
so much
and
change.
desire.
Even the line before
During
that, he
dull
said,
roots
Marie.
with spring rain.
Oh my!
This
He said, Marie,
fusion
what? And
of
then what does he say? We're
memory
wondering,
and
what does he say?
desire.
Well, Marie,
The-
what's he going to say to Marie?
might as well be
he
the major
repeats
things
Marie's
for him.
name
If he-
in that
His
giant
best
gap.
poem,
Marie, hold on
The
tight.
Wasteland.
And then down
And
we
he's
went.
bringing out memory and desire in the
and
first
then
few
that giant
lines
gap.
as,
After down we went,
uh,
in the mountains.
the idea
And
that
then
the
after
seasons
free,
are stirring.
I read
what
much of
we
the night
think.
and go south in the winter.
And it begins to be.
By the
it be-
waters of Lemon, I sat down and wept.
It begins
Sweet Thames,
to be difficult to talk
run
about
softly
things, man.
Till I end my
When you
song.
just have this poem here.
Sweet Thames, run
You-
softly.
When the
for I
criticism
speak
begins to
not
fail
loud
it.
or long. He doesn't. He truly doesn't. I remember back
I was
in
just reading Spangler right here
undergrad.
before.
we had to read The
You know what?
Wasteland, and this happened.
Let me talk about a poem
happened
here.
to me with
Let
so
me
many
let me
poems
discuss
like that. It looks
poetry
so long.
for
If you look
you know,
at The Wasteland, you're
I just had a great
I
day
will
today
not
with
blame you if you looked at
students
this
looking
poem
at their
and be like, "Oh my
poems.
God, I'm not
I said,
reading that.
listen,
Are you
let me
kidding me?"
test my metal. I can say
I know
all
it's
this
funny.
about
It's
these
like,
students'
oh, man,
poems and
what,
really bring them up where they need to
17
be brought
pages
up.
makes it sound really
And
long, but
shoot, man.
or if you're on poetryfoundation.org,
In this Spangler, he says,
it's like, man,
you
that's
know what?
long.
No
But
critic
Elliot,
has or criticism
he might-
fails when it comes
not
to
my,
Dostoevsky.
he knows
Eliot.
the struggle.
And among other things, he says a lot of other things, but he's quite on to something.
Man, every
when I even think of,
I can't shake this.
and my favorite
idea
Shakespeare
that every
critic,
time I
H.C.
cough, I've
Goddard,
just said some
he does
bullshit.
mention Alyosha.
So
and
maybe
I think
Elliot
Mr.
doesn't know
Spangler-
the struggle.
If you were to read,
There's some things he certainly missed. Sweet Thames,
tired of these mo-
run softly
tired of
for I
these
speak,
motherfuckers, man.
not loud or long.
man. They
But at my
spend their
back,
whole life
in a cold blast,
they
I
read
hear
so many books, you
the
know.
rattle of the bones.
Even though
and
Schopenhauer
chuckle
says
spread
always
from
reading,
ear to ear.
never to be read.
I love that.
You're
But
reading
at
all
my
these books.
back,
You have a
in
lot of things
cold
to say, but
blast, I hear
if you would have just
you,
read,
you
this
take
one-
that line out by
This
itself,
Spangler, the
and
same
it defines
Spangler,
what it means
he
to hear.
he has something
I
to say
only-
about Mr.
To insert a word
Tolstoy.
and-
he has a
and
lot of bad things
commit
to say about him.
some
But if he just would have
violation.
read
Tolstoy's The Gospel in
You might as
Brief.
well say, I only hear, but at my back in a
He
cold
outright
blast.
says.
And you don't need that word
my God.
only if you just trust the poetry.
I know I'm
just
on a
have to
tangent.
insert it there
I know,
to clarify.
okay? But that's what the
listen to this
wasteland's
line.
doing to
But
me,
at my
man.
back in a
It's
cold
the
blast, I hear.
wasteland, baby.
Every time you hear something, it's at
but
my
if
back in a
Spangler
cold blast.
would
At your
have
back
just
in a
read
cold blast is when you hear.
Tolstoy's The Gospel in Brief,
That could be
which
kind of calming
Wittgenstein
too. Like,
did,
oh, I heard you.
coming after
Oh,
Spangler.
it's a little
But Spangler
scary.
would have
Like,
just read him.
What's behind me?
He would have.
But
I don't know.
yes, while that is the case,
I don't know what he would have done.
we have to
But
consider the whole.
especially.
I hear the rattle of the bones.
Listen,
Not bones, the bones.
Spangler says
And chuckle spread
that
from ear
Tolstoy,
to ear. This is
whenever he speaks of
that's
Christ,
pretty
he's actually
scary.
speaking of Marx.
Hold up. We're talking. So Sweet Thames. We're
Spangler
talking
has
to
a lot
the
of good
river.
things to say, but every now and then
At my
I'm
back in a cold blast.
don't catch
I
me in
hear
a
the rattle
bar.
of the
If I'm
bones
ever in
and
a
chuckle
bar
spread from ear
and
to ear.
I have at least like two friends with
this is
me and
pretty
we're a
scary,
couple
and
drinks
I-
deep, and I ever
I'm
saw
gonna
Spangler,
Fall back on that.
Ooh,
sympathy
he's
notion
done,
that
bud.
I'm
He's
very
done.
worried for the
I would win
poets
any
right
argument
now.
at
Very
that
worried.
point.
A rat
Okay.
crept softly,
Especially
through
if
the
he approached
vegetation,
me. If Spangler approached
dragging
me
its slimy belly
while I
on
was
the
having a
bank.
good time,
While I was fishing
was
in
a
the
few
dull
drinks
canal
deep with
on a winter
friends,
evening,
done.
round behind the gas house,
I might
musing upon the king,
his whole
my
life
brother's
course
wreck, and
changed.
on the king, my father's death before him.
Winter kept us warm, covering earth in
Musing
forgetful
upon the king,
snow,
my brother's wreck, and on the
feeding a
king,
little
my
life
father's death
with
before
dried
him.
tubers.
Yes, that can be a reference
Okay, now
to the
winter's
Tempest.
at play. But winter kept us warm?
And yes,
What?
Eliot left annotations
Think about that.
to this poem.
Let that sink in. Winter
But
kept
I
us
don't think
warm.
we need the annotations.
Okay,
Once
we
again,
can't
I
keep
keep falling
warm
back on
unless
just
it's winter.
how loaded it is.
I know we're
now he's
we're
fishing
in
the wasteland.
Shouts out
within
all my
the burial of the
fishermen.
dead.
Here we
There's so
are
many different
in the
angles you can
fire
take it.
sermon number 3.
But that just adds the idea of the musing upon the king,
polarities,
my
the
brother's
dualities at
wreck,
play.
and on the king, my father's
Feeding a
death
little life
before
with
him.
dried tubers. We're picture
Not quite the.
we're on our
Tempest.
deathbad as a civilization.
Which
and, God
is the
knows
point.
Spangler would love
This
that.
is not quite the Tempest.
So
This is a
maybe
little
Eliot
more.
is kind of winning him over for a second because he's about to. We
got
in 2 lines.
Summer
We have 2
surprised
kings,
us.
a brother, and a
Coming
father.
over the Starnberg Easy.
It's
Now-
giving you all you need to know. Whatever you,
I have to
whatever
comment
this
on
needs to be for you.
A German would
pronounce that Starnbergertzie,
And yet-
Starnbergertzie, or something like
something
that.
else.
He would not say, or she,
White
Starnbergerzie.
bodies naked on the
And
low, damp
somehow
ground,
Eliot
and
has
bones
chosen,
cast in a little low,
the
dry
one of
garret,
the
rattled by the rat's foot.
Eliot has
only,
chosen one of
year
the
to year. This is why repetition
words
is
that sound so funny in English,
Great.
especially American English.
too often.
Starnbergerzie.
Oh, you're
He's
repeating
from
your
the
words,
South.
you're
Just
repeating
imagine,
your
oh, I'm going
words.
down there
It's
in the
seen as a
down. Oh,
weakness
we're
in
going up
writing,
there and down
but
in the
we have this
Starnbergerzie.
repeat
So
the body of
every
the human
line
slunking
is
and
a
the
play.
rat slinking
Every
and the
line
rat's the
is a
one
play.
carrying it away.
Every frame of painting.
But at my back,
With a
from
shower
time
of
to
rain.
time I hear the sound
the
of
rain's
horns
here.
and motors, which
Back-
shall bring
we're-
Sweeney to Mrs.
So much time
Porter
is
in the
happening
spring.
between lines. We
Oh, the
got
moon
whole plays.
shone
We got whole
bright on Mrs.
biographies.
Porter,
and
and on her
coming
daughter,
up.
they wash their feet in
We
soda
stopped
water.
in the colonnade
Et aux ses voix d'enfants
and went on in
chantant dans la
sunlight into the
coupole.
Hofgarten and
I
drank
know
coffee
the sound of children
and talked
singing
for an
in
hour.
the cupola. Twit, twit,
Sounding
twit,
like
jug,
Hemingway
jug,
in,
jug,
in,
jug,
in the
so rudely
simplicity, the
forced
ability to
row.
just say, we went there. we
Unreal
fished,
city under
we
the brown
sat,
fog
and
of
we
a
talked,
winter
and we
noon.
drank.
Mr.
and it was good.
Eugenides, the Smyrna merchant, unshaven,
So,
with a pocket full of
Eliot
currants,
really
CIF
just
London,
all
documents
the
at
feelers
sight,
everywhere.
asked me in
all right?
demotic
This is-
French.
we might as well,
to luncheon
when
at
we
the
read
Cannon
Eliot,
Street Hotel,
this is
followed
us
by a
reading Eliot.
weekend
Don't
at the
look!
Metropole.
This is us.
Hold up!
All right.
Wait a minute.
Let me put some criticism in it. Let me get real comfy. So, rewind over here. Where was I?
We have the fishermen we have musing on the river, and all of a sudden,
Bin
the sound of horns and motors,
Stamm aus der
which shall
Town.
bring.
Echt Deutsch.
He is traveling through time here.
This means
Sweeney to
I
Mrs.
am
Porter in the spring.
no Russian. I
And then when he
come
says that,
out
the
of
moon shone bright on
Lithuania.
Mrs. Porter and on her daughter.
Something
They
real
washed
German.
their feet in
Echt
soda
Deutsch,
water.
real German. And when we were children staying at the Archduke's,
I
such-
can't speak for the entire
I have this one
stanza, but in
circled.
this
Such
last
a-
4 lines, as soon as
such
he
a
brings
fun
up
play.
Mrs. Porter,
Echt Deutsch and Archdukes.
he
of
rolls
course,
with that.
Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
The moon shone
the-
bright on
the,
Mrs. Porter.
the epic EPOCH.
It's a
the
true
turning
monologue
point.
where he's out, he's talking, he's
The
oh,
camel
sound
that
of
broke
horns
the
and motors
straw's
which shall
back
bring
and all
Sweeney
that.
to Mrs. Porter
as
in
it
the
were.
spring.
And here Oh, the moon shone
Elliot
bright on
is
Mrs.
flipping it
Porter.
around
It's that
with
true storytelling. Of like, you bring something up, and
real
it's like,
German archdukes.
yeah, I remember that. And on her
I
daughter,
think
they
of
wash their feet in
F.
soda
Scott
water.
Fitzgerald, and in the beginning of The Great Gatsby, there's
So we're going everywhere. Then we
such
have
a
French
throwaway
children
line.
singing, and then we have
But he mentions
then we have sudden birds,
that,
so really
that
forced to
Teutonic
row in real
migration. He
city.
even puts it better, like that latent Teutonic
And then we
migration
have
or something like that. But just
one-sentence
other angle we can get
on
the
8-line
World War or any
stanza
major crisis
of a
is something we should
real
maybe
invitation
taken and
to-
let fester, and then we
in
can
a
share it,
modern
obviously, but
place,
we should-
London.
We should be in on that if we care for the truth. All right, my cousins.
Here's another
He
thing we
took
gotta
me
ask.
out on a sled. So the Archduke is this
What-
person's cousin,
Why the?
and I was frightened.
I'm
He
gonna
said,
cuss. I'm gonna say
"Marie,
it.
Marie,
I'm gonna say it.
hold on tight."
Listen,
and down we
if
went.
you bet don't
In the
take me
mountains,
out of context.
there
I
you
have
feel free.
never
I
taken
read
anyone
much of
out
the
of
night and go
context.
south in the winter.
I can hardly go another line even without the
Who said it had to make sense? It's the fire sermon. The fire
Okay, so the
sermon.
narrator is a
people.
girl.
I want you
going
to
down
show
a
me
sled
another fire
named
sermon
Marie.
where it makes sense.
He said, "Marie." And
At
then
the
line
violet
break.
hour,
What did he say?
when
What
the
did he say?
eyes and back
I-
turn upward from the
I
desk,
use this line like
when the human
5
engine
times
waits
today
like a
to
taxi
the better
throbbing
poems that I read.
waiting. I,
eh,
Tiresias,
I said,
though blind,
what
throbbing
I love
between
about a
two
poem,
lives,
I straight
old
stole this
man
from Donald
with
Roosevelt, but
wrinkled
what I love
female
about a poem
breasts
is
can see at the violet
when
hour, the evening
I'm reading
hour,
it and I'm
strives
I'm
home.
worried
Saying
about
hour
the
at least
person,
3
and I hope
times
they
in
make
5
it
lines.
out
Are you
okay.
kidding me?
So this Marie,
Wow!
Marie, hold on tight.
Time.
And
So
down
much
we
student,
went.
Like I've been grappling with time
When you pause, you say,
for
"Hey, Marie."
for years now, and then I'm like,
What are
oh,
you gonna-
Mr.
what can you
Thomas,
say?
I was doing this
Oh my
third
God.
person. Oh,
What does he
Mr.
say
Thomas,
again? He
look at
says her name
you.
again.
You're gonna
Marie.
tackle the problem
Hold
of
on.
time. Good on you, buddy.
And down
Hey,
we
call
went.
up Einstein. What you think about time?
Another pause.
Hey,
In the
everybody,
mountains?
Mr. Thomas is here
Well,
to
wait, we
solve
just went down,
the
and
idea
down
of
we went.
time.
In the mountains.
but
there you
seriously.
feel free. Oh, I
Is
feel
it
free?
not? Is it not
As soon as I
worth
feel
my
free,
thought? Is it not?
I read
when I
much of the
wake up
night
every
and
day
go south in the winter.
and the first thing
I
I
might as
do
well
is
hit my
check
head
the
on the
time.
co- on the
Whether or not
ed-
it's
on
a
the edge of
weekend.
this bookcase.
Oh, let me see. Let me see what time it is. Especially if it's not a weekend and not weekend. It really makes it hard. If it's somewhere I gotta be. Oh, let me see if I got a couple.
For a second,
But
hey,
even
there
on
you
that-
feel free.
Oh, let me see.
I
And then
read much of the night and go south
for
in
some
the winter.
reason, if I manage to
Elliot
sleep in an
confessed.
hour or two longer, and it
I could have
shrinks
stopped on free,
each
but
year I
not
get
really.
older,
I
sure,
read
but for
much of
some
the night
reason,
and go south.
oh, woe is me! Oh,
While
I'm a
we're
slave
at it,
to
and I might
time.
never get a chance to
Oh,
say this.
oh,
Another
damn!
thing from Mr. Don Ravel.
Hey, tell me if you can relate. Tell me if you can relate. Hold up.
Yes,
Tell me if you
well,
can relate. Hold up.
the devil writes at night.
Tell me if you can relate to this.
It's also okay to just stay up and read at night.
Wait.
I have no reason for that. He just said it in a couple poems. And,
Wait, am I stopped?
it sounds true. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony?
Oh shit!
Son of man.
Oh damn! It's
say,
10 o'clock.
For you know
I better fucking
a
get
deeper
going.
image
Oh!
where the sun beats. And the dead tree gives no shelter, the cricket no relief, and the dry stone no sound of water. Only there is shadow under this red rock. Come in under the shadow of this red rock, and I will show you something
I'm getting hyped, man.
from either your shadow at
I'm
morning
getting
shining
hyped.
behind you, or your shadow at evening rising to meet.
I better calm down.
I will
I'm
show
sorry
you
if I'm
fear
peeking. I'm sorry
and
if
a
my
handful
voice
of dust.
is
Frisch
squeaky.
weht der Wind
But
der Heimat zu, mein Irish Kind.
Before I say a
Wo
little bit more on
weilest du?
time, let me just say,
You gave me Hayekins.
even if
first a
I'm
year
missing a
ago.
lot in
They
Eliot,
called me the Hayekins
just
girl.
just
Yeah,
that,
when
just,
we came
just
back
hearing the
late
word
in the
word
Hayekins
hour
garden,
3
your arms
times in
full,
5
your hair
lines
wet, I
has
could not
reminded
speak,
me of
and
that
my eyes
thought of
failed.
time,
I was neither living
which
nor
is
dead,
also
and I knew nothing. Looking into
been
the
showed
heart
to
of
me,
light, the silence. Ut und
through
leer
other
das Meer.
works and
Oh
through
my
friends
God.
and just sitting out
Somehow
outside of a
Eliot
porch
manages
cottage
to be
table.
romantic.
But yeah,
and
just for Eliot
realist.
to remind us of that. Rapscallion.
What are the roots
yeah, time.
that clutch
So not
what
only
branches grow
do we wake up
out of this stony rock?
and we're such slaves.
He might as well
to
be
time
on his
and every-
knees.
Wait,
Might as well be on his knees, but yet,
And
but yet
I
in the
hear
most
you. It's like,
humble way.
oh, but dude, time.
What are they?
In my extreme, I'm like,
Somehow I'm seeing
forget
being on
time.
his knees is not
Forget it.
humble.
We don't need it. maybe he
the
might as well be
Kantian-
asking the most.
We don't need it.
the deepest
Not
question.
that
The most.
Kant said that we don't need it.
What
but
are the roots
the idea
that
that it's just an extension of our mind and
branches grow out of the stony rubbish?
the 8 perceptions of time and space being the foundation of math. And really,
That's how he
if you
goes.
want
That's
the
how he goes.
mystical shortcut
Up and
to
down.
Kant,
In the
if
beginning
for
of
some
this
reason
poem,
you
it's-
ended up on my channel and you're watching this right now, guess what,
an
buddy?
overarching
I got
view
some
of what
golden
seems
treasure for you.
means
Because the
to
mystical
thought and
shortcut
vice
to
versa.
Kant
And
is asking
what might
whence
still be
time
wrecked
and
in this
space.
world that
Why?
after
Wait a
every
second.
day goes by, it
In the
seems that
history,
we only
if time and
survive on
space
YouTube. What
underlay
is it?
everything
And then
that
from
we
that-
ever know, and we
we
roll back
talk
the
a
clock
turn
and,
somewhere really
and
quick, and we kind of
everything
like a
we
movie,
ever
just
go,
jump
we
into a
take
scene
it back to the
where a little
barest
girl
principles of
talking
all
about her.
of all that we
hey,
can
I-
possibly know.
I'm
at the bare bones
I'm
is
not
time
Russian,
and
I'm
space,
actually
and we
German,
cannot
you know?
escape that.
So this German, by
enter
the way,
Kant,
who's a cousin of the
in
Archduke,
more in less words than
rewind a little
one,
bit.
isn't
in more words than a
understood.
thousand million.
You're telling me this German or this Austrian? I
Why
don't
are we
know,
bowing to
is
these
misunderstood
things?
by someone? Hold the phone.
Who created these?
You're telling
things?
me
you're
everyone
telling
can be
I
misunderstood?
I
As
see
if
why
we
Kant
needed that
struggled.
reminder. Fucking say it.
Please forgive
Move
me.
from
Don't
that.
use me out of context.
Hold on,
I'm
tight.
100%
We're
saying.
free in the mountains.
I read and I go.
In
south
other
and south.
words,
I read
we're
much
supposed
of the
to
night
say
and go
time
south
and
in the
space are
winter.
just here.
Damn, Mr.
Time and
Eliot,
space
you
are
happen
here.
to
These
fit
are
a
the
bird
founda-
reference in there.
We're just
but
gonna settle on that.
Ooh,
Time
you
and
got
space.
flowers and birds
That-
in the first stanza. Ooh, I'm gonna shake my.
We're okay with that?
Yeah,
We're okay
hang
with
on it, baby.
yeah.
I'm taking a drink
Those
of
are the
that.
ancient beings.
black coffee, high school.
So we got
He moves
that.
from that.
So on
And
my
he asks
extreme,
this
I'm
question.
saying,
What?
what?
are the
Okay,
roots
let's
that
forget
clutch?
about time. And
What
then I hear
branches
you. I hear the
grow
realist.
out of
Well,
the stony rubbish?
If I sit here,
if I sit
where
here
is
and
one
6
to-
hours
in this
pass,
world
things
to
are going to
find-
change.
to-
Okay.
Where is
Yes,
one-
the sun's going to rise and fall. Okay.
Where's one to grow? Where do we go? Where do
I
the
don't really
roots
think that
grow?
proves anything, but yeah, I don't think I have to explain on that. I think we get it. The fire sermon.
Son of man.
At the violet hour.
You
Why don't-
cannot say
also
or
say
guess
violent.
at the
For you-
violet hour.
No,
but
only
not
a
quite.
heap of
At the
broken
violet
images
hour,
where the sun
when the
beats.
eyes and back turn upward
And the
from
dead
the
tree
desk.
gives no
When
shelter.
the eyes
the
and
cricket
back
no relief.
turn
And the
upward
dry
from the
stone,
desk.
no sound
That's
of
pretty.
water.
Eyes and back are turning upward from the desk.
This is T.S. Eliot saying, "Hold up."
I have a question for you.
He's kind of coming in. And he's about to introduce Tiresias,
Are you son of man?
the OG transgender.
If yes, he's
when the
talking
human
to you.
engine waits
Son
like a
of
taxi
man.
throbbing waiting. I Tiresias. This
You cannot say
guy put Tiresias
or guess.
one
For
line
you
after
know
the word
only a
taxi.
heap of broken
Now this is
images
modernism.
where the sun beats and the dead tree
It's like when I
gives no
end my
shelter.
book on dance.
the cricket,
when Zeus,
no relief,
Zeus appears before the
and
veal
the dry
saying,
stone,
"Dance, nigga,
no
dance."
sound of water.
What did you say?
I
Are we in the
Tiresias, though
post-apocalypse?
blind,
Are we not?
throbbing between two lives.
Son
Old
of man,
with
is he
wrinkled
talking
female
about Jesus
breasts
out there
can see.
for
Hold
40
up,
days?
hold up. Okay, Tiresias.
40 nights only.
This is
There
this is common.
shadow
This is
under
common.
this red rock.
Tiresias,
Come in.
I
Under the shadow of this
Tiresias,
red rock.
though
Shouts out Red Rock
blind,
Canyon, sponsored by
throbbing
Red Rock
between
Casino.
two lives,
And I will show you
old
something
man with
different from
wrinkled
either
female
your shadow
breasts
at morning striding
can see,
behind you,
as
or
if
your
those
shadow at
four
evening
things
rising
prevent
to
us
meet
from
you.
seeing.
Oh!
We have to take Eliot.
First of all,
the thing about Eliot
the
is,
Whitman illusion.
once
or-
we accept him,
Yeah, it's
every
an illusion.
single word he
Connection.
says,
Walt Whitman begins
matters.
his song
it
of
goes for
myself.
any poet. Once
saying, "I sing of myself, I celebrate myself."
we can.
He does not
He
waste a
just builds up
word.
himself.
And if we ever find out that he does, then we
He
can
shows
say
how
we
we're
can
all
spit on it.
connected
I
through
would
breath
spit on
and
this
the
page. I
universe, and he
seriously
says,
would
"Listen,
if I found out
stop
that he was
for a
wasting
moment,
word.
come with me,
Or
and
not
I will
that he
teach
can't
you
sleep
how to
and
see
be little
things
kind of
through
poor
not dead
sometimes,
books,
but if I
not-
ever found
not
that,
even this, just for
oh
yourself."
god, like not
Eliot,
necessarily illogical,
about
but
30, 40
something
years
like,
later,
ugh,
says,
damn, dude,
Hey,
not gross
come
out
in under the shadow
You
of this
get
red
you get me.
rock,
But
and I will show you something different from either your shadow at
I
morning
Tiresias,
striding behind you,
though
or your shadow
blind,
at evening rising to
throbbing
meet you.
between two
God
lives. He is man
dang it,
and
Mr.
woman.
Eliot.
I forgot
That's some pretty
how the
good
fates
shit right
made him
there,
this way.
man.
I almost threw it
Old
down
man
on the
with
floor, but I
wrinkled
don't- I don't
female
beat
breasts.
my books down like that. My kids
Can
I don't beat other
see-
people's kids. I only beat my kids.
I give him
At
like
the
a slap,
violet
like that,
hour,
slap
the
Eliot.
evening hour
But
that
God dang,
strives
that's good.
homeward.
You know, it's funny.
Listen.
Before I went on my entire time rant,
I don't
before
think
I
I'm
went and
going
jumped
out
on
on a
bed,
limb here
before I came back
to
here
say
and yelled,
that in
before I
this
said more
opening
things,
stanza,
the last
hot off
the-
the press
if,
of World
if I would have
War
kept
I,
reading and I
in
didn't
which
go on that
he also
all that
has
tangent, I
several
would have came
German
across
lines
the word
that
that Mr.
Homework.
Eliot is no stranger to Deutsch
And
philosophy.
that sums up everything I was trying to do.
And in fact, he actually Eliot's objective correlative,
and brings the sailor
this is a
home
fact
from
that-
sea.
A thing that no one really talks
Oh
about.
my God!
And I only know
If we
because I'm-
wanted Ishmael to make it
simp,
back, that's what
as
he
it
needed
were,
to do for a
for
second.
Mr. Schopenhauer.
Just
Raise
keep
my
reading,
wife.
just for a little bit more.
I said simp
just a
and I heard
little
my
bit
wife.
more, Ishmael. Babe, just hang in there, hang in there. Don't lose the thread just yet.
But
The
terms of
typist, home at tea
correlative
time, clears
was somewhat
her breakfast,
lifted
lights
from
her
Schopenhauer's
stove, and
doctoral
lays out
thesis
food
on the
in
fourfold
tins.
root of the
Out of the
principle
window,
sufficient reason,
subtle rhyme
where
with
he
stove,
has subjective
perilously
correlative.
spread
Or
her drying
yeah.
combinations touched by the sun's
And Mr.
last
Eliot
rays.
is no stranger to German
On the
philosophy,
divan
okay?
are
So
piled
after Whitman,
at
now
night
Whitman
her
has
bed,
this one poem,
stockings,
too.
slippers, camisoles, and stays. I, Tiresias, old man
Whitman has this
with
one poem,
wrinkled
right?
dugs,
Where
perceived the
it's
scene
about
and
German
foretold the
philosophy.
rest.
When Walt Whitman said,
I
"Listen, let's
too
talk about German
awaited the
philosophy," you
expected
freaking drop
guest.
down, you listen to this monk, right? So he's talking about German philosophy. He says,
Okay.
I've read Fichte, I've read
For-
Kant, I've read Schelling,
My God.
I've read Hegel, I've read everything.
I'm bringing up
I've
Spengler
read all
because
these German
the one
philosophies, and yeah,
thing
you know,
that I
kinda-
keep
you know, they're
coming,
kinda cool and all
having
that.
to come
but
to
none of their
terms with
philosophy
in Spengler
is really
and
quite
that I
the same as
really
the
disagree
philosophy
with him on,
of love,
although
baby.
he
The
makes
philosophy
quite
of
riveting
friendship.
points.
Now I can
is
say
that he
cool
says
as
the
you,
Greek-
and you probably
the
agree,
ancient Greeks,
but when he says it, it's a little bit more hum.
Their way of thinking, we can't even comprehend it.
being
It's so simple and
as
so
much as I do
one,
love Whitman,
and they're all about the body.
and he is right.
They're all about
something
what's
about
before
this
them in the
world
present. They can't even
keeps
comprehend the future. They can't
pulling
even
me
comprehend the
back.
past.
And
he makes decent
I'm reading
arguments.
Spengler
like,
now. I'm
oh,
still trying to
okay,
finish Spengler.
they decided to
And
use
something
wooden
pulled
architecture.
Mr.
eventually.
Eliot back.
Oh, they
too.
didn't really preserve their
Mr.
manuscripts.
Eliot-
They burned bodies instead of burying them. They didn't
I don't
even
know.
keep
Just picture
records that well.
Walt Whitman goes through World War One.
yes,
you
yes,
can
yes,
picture.
and
Hey,
yes,
Mr.
and
Whitman,
yes.
you think we ought to
But
maybe
to
just
say
try
all that
talking
is
to
to
these
say
German
what?
philosophers just a little
So,
bit more. Let's see what
when I
else they
read
gotta say.
Homer, I don't see
And what does
anything of
Eliot
myself in
come
Homer.
away with reworking Whitman's
I first wanted to scream
line into.
when I said that, but I held it back. I held back a scream.
Come
That
with
really
me,
makes me want to scream.
And I will show
when
you
someone
something
says, "Oh, you can't."
different
You from the
either
Homer,
your shadow
the
at
modern
morning
man, really,
striding
they're
behind
just
you,
fooling
or your
themselves.
shadow at
They
evening
think,
rising
"Oh,
to meet you.
This is beautiful.
I haven't even dropped the N word yet. Nietzsche, Friedrich, but
Here, T.S. Eliot
Nietzsche's the
is
shadow,
putting
man. The
Tiresias
idea of the
in
shadow.
a young woman's
With-
shoes,
with me-
saying,
which
"I
Nietzsche,
too awaited
certainly
the
didn't coin,
expected
but
guest."
now that I
Blind,
think of it, he-
old,
he definitely has this
transgender
major.
Tiresias giving advice to
proponent.
Oedipus,
Now I'm not going to begin to say anything about
who
Nietzsche that'll
slept with his mother,
pigeonhole him, because I've recently
Tiresias
gotten into some
is relating
somewhat
to
fights
the modern
with my
woman
colleagues on whether or not he's
the
a nihilist.
typist,
But
laying
I will
out
just say,
her little
I'm
things,
so sorry. I'm going all over
measuring
the
out
place,
her
but that's
life
how
in
much
coffee
truly
spoons.
this is loaded
Shouts
for me.
out to the love
Your
song
shadow-
of Alfred J.
I will
Prufrock.
show you something different.
Tiresias
from either your
relates to
shadow
her.
at morning,
Yeah,
striding behind you, or your shadow at evening.
forget
Rising
us
to
relating
meet you.
to Tiresias. He's
Every-
relating to
so
us.
He's saying it every day.
Oh,
our
hey,
shadow
Mr.
is
Spengler.
striding
Oh, wait,
behind
they
you.
don't know anything
And
about the
every
future.
night,
What about
our
their
shadow
prophets?
is rising to meet us. This is
going
where
on in my
I
head.
think of my life. I'm like, okay, does it check out? When I drive to work in the morning, or even when I just wake up
the
on
young
this
man,
average day, is my
carbuncular,
shadow
arrives,
striding
a small house
behind me.
agent's clerk, with one bold
Yeah, I can see
stare,
it. And
one
then
of
at
the
night,
low,
I especially
on
see
whom
this. Your shadow
sits,
is rising to meet
as a
you.
silk
This idea
hat.
that every night we play with
on
the
a
fact I already
Bradford
said
millionaire.
I struggle with the devil
The
writing
time
at
is
night,
now propitious,
and I can read
as
all
he
night.
guesses.
Like, oh my,
The
shadow's
meal is
rising.
ended.
Oh
She is
man, it's
bored
9
and
o'clock, but I gotta
tired.
go to bed. But oh damn, I'm
Endeavors
getting struck by
to
the creative
engage
bug.
in her
Or in the morning,
caresses,
like, oh wait, I gotta catch up to you.
which still
I'm
are
striding behind you, baby.
unreproved. If
I'm your shadow after
undesired.
all. Even if it doesn't check out, he
He
challenges
challenges you. He says, "Remember that
The
thing about
idea that
memory
the
and desire that I
shadow
mentioned? Well, here's some undesired
is among us
in a couple,
oh, I'm a
seen by
Sasabaka.
Tiresias, narrated by Tiresias,
Ooh.
Flushed and
The
decided.
idea that
he
the shadow
assaults
is
at once.
something to associate with our character, and it's
Exploring
also a literal
hands
shadow.
encounter no
He's still
defense.
playing with
Okay,
this idea. Of
now we
to
have
what
a rape
extent does nature
His vanity requires no
affect
response.
our character?
And what does he
vice
call?
versa?
As soon as he realized, oh man, she's being violated.
Fresh blows the wind.
He says his
to the
vanity.
home. My Irish kind, where are you
Violation
going, or where are you
is
loitering,
vanity.
or where are you
What?
whiling? Now the Irish are involved, baby.
What?
Oh my goodness!
Expanding- just
Oh
expanding
my
what
damn!
our notions-
T.S.
expanding
Eliot
our
is
definitions
going
like
ham.
that. And I will be
Listen, I gotta
thoroughly
give it to my
surprised
boy
if
Spangler,
not
man.
anything in the whole
I hesitate to call my boy, but he has
conceivable
those lines too.
world
about
is not
understanding the other.
in the first
said
part of this poem, the burial of the dead.
is
Which,
looking at
wow.
knowledge as a being.
Is this like the Twilight of the Idols? The Twilight of the Idols.
And that's one of the
20 years
simpler
ago,
ones.
where Nietzsche is like,
It's a pretty good one.
man, all these
But I did wonder, I'm like, wait, is it
ideas I'm
knowledge?
breaking down. Boom, 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 boom.
Looking at
But, and
understanding is a
then
being.
T.S.
And I
Eliot,
really
well,
play with it. It
damn,
was
he
at
did that
nighttime
well.
too. So
Thanks,
I was
Mr.
pretty
Nietzsche.
geek, but
time for me to bury the dead
I
now.
don't know.
Oh, man. And guess what? I'm going to do it all poetic like.
His vanity
Oh,
requires
yeah, I'm
no
burying 'em.
response and makes a welcome of indifference.
you gave me hyacinths.
Long parentheses.
Or
and I,
hyacinths
Tiresias,
first, a
have
year ago.
suffered all.
They called me
enacted
the
on
hyacinth
same
girl.
divan or bed. I
Okay,
who
we
have
have
sat
two
by thieves below
flowers.
the wall and walked among the lowest
In
of
this
the dead. Yes, so not
opening.
only did he advise
Part.
Odysseus in the underworld,
That one.
but he
Just 2 flowers.
he advised.
It might as well be a Dream Banger YouTube
Oedipus.
video where I have 2 flowers going.
On his motherly issues. And
Yet when
he
we came back
foresuffered,
late
forget
from
foreseeing,
the
he
Hyacinth garden,
foresuffered,
your arms full and your hair wet.
bestows one final
not speak.
patronizing kiss, and,
And my
gropes
eyes
his
failed.
way, finding
I was neither
the
living nor
stairs
dead,
unlit.
and I knew nothing. Looking into the heart of light,
Long
the
pause.
silence.
She turns
Utopia
and looks
das
a moment in the glass,
The sea
hardly
was
aware of
empty
her departed
and
lover.
a waste.
There's that
Desolate,
departed.
okay.
Remember the nymphs were departed.
Wait a second. What type
Our
of
lovers
person
departing.
cannot
Her
speak?
brain.
Their eyes fail.
Oh, that's
neither
major.
living
We're
or
bringing
dead.
the brain
knows
into play.
nothing.
Her brain
is
allows
looking into the
one
heart of light, the
half-formed
silence.
thought to pass.
I'll give you a second.
Well, now that's
while I
done,
also try to think
and I'm
because I don't know
glad
the
it's
answer.
over.
And we're having Tiresias. We're having Tiresias, by the way, mention the brain.
Frankly, I'm at a loss. Is it the poet himself? That's kind of easy going. Hey, you must be talking about the poet.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if the word not just being an English word, but the notion
not
of a
speak.
brain is
My
not really
eyes
close to the
failed.
Greeks.
So at that part, it's like,
Or
okay,
so
is he
we
convulsing?
think. I was neither living nor dead.
Still could be
Her
convulsing,
brain
and I
allows
knew nothing.
half-formed
Looking into the
thought
heart of light,
to
the
pass.
silence. Is it a
Well,
complete?
Now
is it
that's
ego
done,
death?
and I'm glad it's over.
Listen, there's a stanza break, and the next 2 lines are
Me after being
we
violated.
gotta read this.
When
Madame
lovely
Sosostris,
woman
famous
stoops
clairvoyant,
to folly
had a bad cold.
and
So
paces about her room.
when we don't know the
again
answer,
alone,
as soon as we don't
she
know the
smooths
answer,
her hair
enter
with
Madame
automatic
Sosostris.
hand.
Now,
and puts
my
her
gosh, I
record
should have been a
on the
good scholar.
gramophone.
I've been a bad boy, and I should have
For the
double-checked
first time in
who
this
Madame
poem,
Sosostris is.
Eliot has an
This is
arguable.
probably the
Everyone
reason for
trained in
high criticism,
and
or this
everyone
criticism
minorly
that truly
trained in
devotes
composing
itself
poems.
to the study.
Like,
and
oh my
looks
God,
and
you're going to
blah, blah,
end
blah,
the
blah,
line
blah.
on an and.
But
hold,
I will say,
hold it, Johnson,
Sosostris
get
said,
over here! This guy's ending it
Madame
on an
Sosostris
and. Ah!
Madame Psychosis, and Metempsychosis is
He's so purposeful. I realized
so he's still connecting himself.
Window downstairs is open, so
eternally.
Someone could be walking right by
This
outside.
Madame Sosostris,
You are now
I better
being
read this
recorded.
stanza.
Due to
Famous
my
clairvoyant
neighbor's,
had a bad cold.
What's that called? Ring light.
Nevertheless,
And
is
then
known
they
to be
hear-
the wisest woman in Europe with a wicked pack of cards.
What?
With a wicked pack of cards? What is
Listen,
this, Boston?
she might not
I'm gonna
have
go take
been
a wicked
violated.
Boston piss. Are you kidding
Why is
me?
that always the case?
With a wicked
Catching
pack
the
of cards?
rye,
What is this, Magic the Gathering?
There's this
What?
line that- Hey, did you know that
This dude's got packs of cards. With a wicked pack of
No,
cards.
he didn't. You're making that up.
Wickedness is at
why is
play
that
here.
always the?
Here, said she, is your
I
card.
gotta reread
The
Catching the
drowned
Rye so I can
Phoenician
finally weigh
sailor.
in
All
on
right,
that.
so
I'll tell you what.
in
But here,
a
what do you think? I'm making up. You think I'm
a psychic
Let me find the proof real
psychic
quick. Hold up.
slayer, and the card is the Phoenician sailor. Now the
He
Phoenicians
endeavors to
were
engage
the
her in
earliest
caresses,
sailors,
which are unreproved,
God dang it,
if
there's some good things to say
undesired.
about the Phoenicians.
Flushed
but suffice
and
it to
decided,
say,
he assaults at once.
that they were the
Exploring
earliest sailors.
hands encounter no defense. His vanity
Those are
requires no
pearls that
response
were his
and makes
eyes.
a welcome
Look!
of indifference.
Here is Belladonna, the lady of the rocks, the lady of situations. Okay, T.S. Eliot might
You
be
know
making
what
fun
that
of me now.
sounds like.
He's
I'm gonna read it
literally
one more
like,
time
this
for
is
you.
that, this is that. Here's the Phoenician sailor. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Here is Belladonna, the lady of the rocks, the lady of
Encounter
situations.
no
Ooh,
defense.
situations like. Here's everything. Anything
His
you want to say
vanity
is a
requires
occurrence and a
no
happening and
response
a passing
and makes a welcome
and a
of
circumstance
indifference. What does that sound?
and a
Yeah.
concurrence.
No, the case is closed. All right.
Here's the man with 3 staves.
But
Staves?
this idea
Let it be
that
known that I recently discovered what a
after
stave
the
was
violation
playing World
happens.
of Warcraft Classic, the second rendition.
then we
with
bring up the
Griffin.
brain.
Let it be known
that I found
the
out that
brain is being
staves was
mentioned?
plural for
Eliot
staff.
didn't even
And I
mention
said,
the brain
wait a
in the
second,
opening
I can't
stanza when everything in the
upgrade my
world is being
staff
covered.
because it says
No, he waits until
staves, and they
Tiresias
said
narrates
staves.
a
What do you
modern
think staves
assault.
is? Here's the man with 3 staves. This guy got 3 staves? And the
then
wheel.
then
and here's
stanza,
the one I
a very
mentioned.
sad
And this
stanza,
card, which is
her
blank,
brain barely,
is something
her
he carries
brain
on his
allows
back,
just one
which
half
I am
of the
forbidden
thought.
to see. I do not find the
Well, now
hangman.
that's done. I'm glad it's over. She
Fear
paces,
death by
smooths
water.
her hair with automatic hand and puts her record on the
I swear to
ground.
God, I'm gonna actually go ballistic, to quote my Uncle Bob.
Man, let me,
I see crowds of people
Let me go
walking
check out-
around
let
in
me go
a
listen
ring.
to some music
Thank
now. That
you.
really gets me
If you
hyped to
see
listen to
dear
music
Miss
on my gramophone.
Equitone, tell her I bring the horoscope myself. One must be so careful.
This
these
music
days.
crept by me upon the waters.
He seriously
and
is
along
calling
the
us out,
strand.
and it's not by coincidence. In the stanza where he's calling us out for these mega interpretations, he says, "Fear death by water," or he makes the clairvoyant say that, or the clairvoyant, the reading, shouts out Moby Dickerson by Herman Melville. You might have heard about it. Not even the very first
And along
chapter,
the
the very
strand,
first paragraph
Queen Victoria
is
Street.
going
Oh,
to the
city,
water,
city,
going straight to
I can
it.
sometimes
To
hear
avoid death.
beside
And
a
here's
public
Eliot,
bar in Lower 10th
another
Street,
40
the
40 years
pleasant
later
whining
after
of a
Melville,
mandolin,
fear
and
death
a
by
clatter,
water.
and a chatter from
In
within,
the middle of
where
a
fishermen lounged
stanza
at noon,
that's making
where the
fun of
walls
our
Magnus
interpretation.
Martyr hold inexplicable splendor of Ionian white.
How do you like
gold.
them apples? Hey man, you done with that apple core? Unreal City with a weird indent.
Tiresias
Under the
is
brown
seriously
fog
seeing into the future. This
of
is
a
him.
winter
He's
dawn.
being a prophet.
Okay.
But it just
for the
goes back
first
to the
time,
beginning
it's
where
like, Mr.
Eliot
Eliot,
is
you're
playing
going
with
back,
with the duality of
repetition,
of existence.
winter. Under the
Shouts
brown
out duality
fog
of
a
man.
winter dawn.
What else can we say?
I gotta read this.
Uh,
A crowd
there really
flowed
is too
over
much to
London
say.
Bridge. So
Because
many.
now,
I had not thought.
yes,
death
it's from the
had done
perspective
so
of
many.
Tiresias, but it's
Sighs,
written by Eliot.
Short and infrequent were exhaled,
Uh,
and each man fixed his eyes before his feet. Float up the hill and down in William Street.
Okay,
where Saint
frankly,
Mary
I was like,
Woolnoth
damn, I don't have
kept
much
the hours
to say
with
about
a
this
dead
stanza.
sound on the
And then I
final
look at the
stroke
next
of night.
line. The river sweats.
There
Oh,
I
I'm
saw one
sweating
I
all
knew and
right.
stopped him, crying.
The
"Stetson,
river sweats.
you were
Oil
with me in
and
the ships
tar.
at Malay.
The barges
That corpse you
drift
planted
with
last
the
year in your
turning
garden.
tide.
Has it begun to
Red
sprout?
sails
Will it bloom
wide
this
to
year?
leeward swing
Or has
on
the
the
sudden
heavy
frost
spar.
disturbed its
The
bed?
barges wash, drifting log.
Oh, keep the dog far
down
hence.
Greenwich
That's
Reach
friend to
past the
man.
Isle
Or
of
with his
Dogs.
nails, he'll dig it up again.
Oh my God!
You,
Shouts out to the
hypocrite.
director of
Lecture.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Bon semblable.
Oui, la,
Mon
la, la,
frère.
la, 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 la. Elizabeth
slight
and
shudder.
Leicester beating
I love
oars.
getting
The
shudders.
stern
Give me
was
shudders
formed
and
a
give me
gilded
goosebumps,
shell,
baby.
red and gold. The brisk
I've only cried about 2 or 3 books in my
rippling
life.
both shores.
Ask me in the
southwest
comments if you
wind
want to know.
carried downstream the peal
But
of
my
bells, white
God,
towers.
the end of this first
Way
part.
la la la, wa la 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 la
So
la.
he brings it. Okay, he brings it to the London streets. There's a lot of
That's
people.
fire sermon.
So
This
many.
has got to be the
He repeats
climax of the
twice.
fire
He
sermon.
repeated
Yep, I
winter,
thought so.
dawn,
Trams and
dawn.
dusty
We had the
trees.
shadow. We had
Yeah,
winter
of course.
and summer
Of
going,
course
but now we have
the
winter
climax of
dawn.
the fire sermon.
A crowd
Remember
flowed
that
over
I
London
said about
Bridge,
the
so many,
not
many
making
sighs,
sense.
short and
And
infrequent.
then, but last
were
time I
exhaled.
said that,
in my book,
found
taking
some-
away from tonight, the
struck
titular
a-
character
struck some
no, it's not
sense
the
for a
titular
second.
character.
We
Or
can
else he's
strike.
gonna
We
be
can strike
taken
sense, and it can
away from tonight. But Jake Valley, size 10. Yes,
trams
10
and dusty
times
trees.
in the
Highbury
opening
board.
section.
Richmond and
I'm
Kew
kind of proud that
undid me.
I only made him sigh.
By Richmond, I
but
raised
here,
my knees
Eliot
supine on the
gets it out
floor
in one
of a
line.
narrow canoe.
Size,
Hold
short
up.
and infrequent were exhaled.
By Richmond, I raised
there were
my
signs,
knees
all right? You gotta get that
supine.
out
So
there.
not prone. That's how I
Each
always
man
remember
fixes
supine.
eyes
It's
before
not
his
prone,
feet.
so he's supine
Nice
on the
little,
floor
internal
of a
rhyme there.
narrow canoe, and he raises his knees.
And then, soon enough, this guy
Looks
saying,
pretty
"Stetson,
familiar, if you ask me.
You
My
who were
feet
with
are at
me in the ships
Moorgate,
at Mile.
and my heart under my
Mile.
feet. Oh. After
I'm
the event, he wept.
no
He
historian.
promised a new start. I
But
made
Mile
no comment. What
sounds
should I
Greek.
resent?
And we're going from modern. Hey, you were with me in the ships at Mile, right? Very,
it's
very
kinda-
much
it's
possible.
funny, like-
let's not forget it.
It
that
happens
someone
when I
right now
write
can
and
be
when I
involved
read. Like when I understand a line,
in
a
a ship.
when a line hits so well,
Travel
I
to
remind
Greece.
myself. Man,
But
you don't
somehow
have
in
to
our
do
head,
anything. You can.
I
you
say
can
probably
relax.
my head. I'm the one
Relax,
obsessed with
man.
ancient Greece and Rome.
Check out my
It's me,
video.
I know.
Relax.
But
yeah.
wait, you were here with Mile, right? Yeah.
So a couple things here.
what is-
Oh, my
What
flies.
is that?
Hold up.
What's that?
Um,
Greece is still going. We still have Rome.
So he's on.
do we?
He's on the floor. He's
That's
on the
the
floor
question
of
Here,
a canoe.
Eliot, Oh,
with
you
his
were here
knees
with
in the
Miley,
air.
right?
My
Oh,
feet
damn,
are
it's
at
like me saying
Moorgate, and
Song
my
of
heart
America. Oh,
under
you
my
were there.
feet.
Didn't you go with me down there to?
God dang it! I can't think of something off the top of my head.
I really know his
But there are
point. I can't even
instances
think
in
of an
life.
analogy.
I'll probably put
something in
post.
pre-Civil
There's
War
instances
era
in
of a
life
place that
where
would be like
if I
Greece.
oh,
you were
lean a
with me
certain
down there
way,
up there in
like
Concord,
yeah,
right?
my heart is in one
Terrible.
place, but my hands in
That
another.
okay, but here's where Eliot kind of wraps the bow.
Let
on
me
it.
try to furnish an example just
without
by
quite
putting myself in a
doing
happy
that.
place. If I'm on a lake, in a
That corpse
boat,
you planted
and I have my
last
hand
year in
in
your
the
garden,
water.
has it begun to
For a second,
sprout?
I could say like
Will
what
it bloom
my
this year?
This is
Or
going to be
has
a
a poor
sudden
example? You
frost
gotta forgive,
disturbed its
the
bed.
hand is
My hand is
clearly there
below
were
the
bodies buried
horizon.
all
My
over
heart
Europe,
above my head.
post-World War.
That's weak. My feet are
But
at
still,
Moorgate.
I mean,
and my
still we can
heart
relate
under
to.
my
Still, there's
feet.
bodies buried in our gardens. Is there not?
My heart under my feet.
Oh, keep the dog
God dang it, I
far
hope I can
hence.
furnish a good example
That's
later.
friend to men.
But here comes the
or
really
with
good
his
part.
nails.
Well,
he'll dig
the
it
part
up
that recently
again.
got me. After the event, he wept. He promised a new start. Who
This
can
just might be
relate?
me.
Says DJ Khaled.
I've already brought
I
up.
made no comment. What should I resent?
Granddaddy Schopenhauer.
What should I
loved his
resent?
dogs.
Hold up.
He loved
Everyone
his
needs to
dogs.
ask themselves.
He
this.
would-
go
he-
ask yourself
he would
this.
be
I
seen
will
walking
too.
around
What
with
should
them,
I resent?
multiple times in
You know,
his,
in my
in his
classroom,
books,
I
he
found myself
mentions
recently
that,
picking up a marker, and I said to the class, you know, that is kind of
that
a weak spot
we-
in my
we-
teaching. I haven't been picking
we
up the
humans
marker and writing
treat
on the board
dogs
lately.
too
But
terribly.
I came across the word resent. I think
You can think of the
brought up
the
resentment
present
in
day
my poem
dog
called Child
lovers.
Support about my father
uh,
and my mother.
We
But
know
I
dog lovers, right?
wrote the
Schopenhauer was
word
a dog lover.
resent, and
Uh,
to resent something is to feel it again
This
and
idea
again.
that
Or
this idea that anything
resentia,
with a will or anything that can feel
sense, sensation,
pain
sentient,
should
to feel.
should be
So if
loved
you
and
resent-
respected, and they're actually
If you
smarter
resent
than we
someone,
think.
you feel
I don't
them
know what
again and again and again and again and again and again.
Next, right? If you
Here,
shaking your
what should I resent?
Schopenhauer again, send me a message. I want you to role play a message and send it to me if I ever mention Schopenhauer henceforth in this video. But
Oh my God,
Eliot-
I got to say a little bit more before we go on. What should I resent? I mean,
so give it 30 seconds, like a head start, like hide and seek, and then he gets it.
and if he's admitting
Eliot,
no resentment here,
Eliot happens to he started on Schopenhauer.
it will
He started with
explain
the idea that you will,
this
you
gradual
will, and the guy says,
dispersion
"I will
of
death." That's the opener.
of,
That's
of
the epitaph.
sense. It will
Or is it
explain
epigraph?
our
And
confusion.
then he's ending the first
What
part
should
with,
I
"Hey,
resent?
that dog.
in the
That's a
sense
friend
that
to men, by the way.
if
Keep it
I
away,
resent,
or else it's going
then
to
I
dig
am-
up the body."
I am making sense of things. I'm feeling them again and again. Hey, I made no comment. What should I resent? Don't comment on this video.
Check it out.
Uh,
The
or
very
if
last
you do,
line is
make it
calling me
resentful,
out
would you?
on what I just said
Uh,
and everything I've said.
or don't.
You
To quote my good friend.
hypocrite reader,
But
mon
why I
semblable,
think we should
or my
one of the
doppelganger,
lingerers because these next lines.
my brother.
On Margate Sands, I can connect
That's how it
nothing
ends.
with
That's
nothing.
how it ends. There's no I could. You hypocrite reader.
The broken
My
fingernail.
doppelganger.
I'm gonna come back
My
to that.
brother.
The broken fingernails of dirty hands. My people.
It's
humble
almost as
people
if-
who expect nothing.
All right. Elliot
La
wants
la.
us to follow.
To
he
Carthage
follows
then
us
I
along.
came.
He wants us to
burning,
get all these
burning,
illusions. He
burning,
wants us
burning.
to.
Oh Lord,
to
thou pluckst
go
me
up
out.
and down in,
Or Lord,
in
thou
the duality
pluckst.
of it.
Burning.
And at the end, the ultimate duality, the ultimate
This
in and
section
out,
begins
the
on the
ultimate,
river. What's called the fire sermon.
reflection
So we have that hint,
and
but
opposite
it
of
begins on
that
the river and it ends on burning.
is a mirror. You hypocrite reader, my
Or
doppelganger,
Lord, thou
my
pluckest
brother.
me out. Or Lord, thou pluckest burning. That
And that's how it. There's no.
this is the part of the poem that we can't. It kind of eludes criticism. There's probably, you know what? I take that back. There is some
It's getting
good
hot
things
in
being
here.
said about
So
this.
take off.
I'm gonna have to go back into the lab and maybe I need 20 years to figure this one
part
out.
2.
Uh,
A game
but
of
for
chess.
now, it appears to me like a movie scene where I'm just enraptured. Where it's just, what do you want me to say about that?
Chess is an
it's
old
as if
game.
I came out of my favorite movie and
Number 1, part 1 was the burial of the
one
dead.
of the best. This would
And
be
part
the
two,
equivalent of the.
a game of chess.
I don't know.
Not the game of chess.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, how are we gonna?
Pluckest
how
me
we
out,
gonna-
oh Lord, thou pluckest burning.
Everything encapsulated in one, and
burying our dead and they're growing
What
into
should I
flowers. How
resent
should we
on
follow that
Margate
up?
Sands?
Game
can
of chess.
connect nothing with nothing. King Lear says
The
nothing
chair
comes
she
from
sat
nothing,
in.
and Lichtenberg certainly wasn't the
Like
first
a
one to
burnished throne. Glowed on the
Just
marble,
make that
where the glass
statement
held
clear
up by
that,
standards, wrought with
nothing
fruited
is such
vines,
a
from which a
Ow,
golden
my- what's
cupidon
with this
peeped
pimple?
out.
So that,
Another hid his
that
eyes
nothing
behind
is
his wing.
very ambiguous.
Doubled the
You know what?
flames of 7 branched candelabra.
I had a high
reflecting
noon.
light
I had
upon the
one
table,
high noon. Okay,
as the glitter of
one
her
high
jewels
noon
rose to
yesterday,
meet it.
and now I got
From
a
satin
pimple.
cases poured in rich profusion.
I see why my father
All right.
has so many pimples.
Pretty much.
Okay,
Now we have a bright, shining
Section 4.
forthwith multiplied
death by water.
times how 77
Wait.
brilliances.
Hold the phone, Mr.
image.
Elliot. Everything's burning. Death by
And
water.
who's the character?
She. And it's a very short section.
And she's sitting on a chair
It's
and it's
only
just this glowing
10 lines.
candelabra. There's fruit. You got golden Cupid is looking at you.
This
And there's another hit his eyes behind his wing. There's 2 golden
It would
Cupids.
be such a
Doubling the
wonderful
flames,
project
reflecting light,
to
glitter
diagram
of jewels.
The wasteland. You can
This
only
is
use
just image,
symbols,
giant
you
image,
drawings,
the
you have
image
this
you
big
want to
white
see.
piece of paper, and you draw.
In
I
vials
wonder
of
what you would put
ivory
at the
and
center.
colored glass, unstoppered,
It would be
lurked her
hard. It would be hard
strange
to
synthetic
diagram. You think of
perfumes,
these big diagrams
unguent,
maybe of
powdered, or
Dante's
liquid troubled, confused
Inferno,
and drowned
and
with the scents
Paradiso,
and odors, stirred by the air that
Purgatorio,
freshened from the window.
entire
These ascended
comedy.
and fattening the
But
prolonged
yeah, to diagram
candle
the wasteland,
flames,
this
flung their
has so
smoke
much going
into the
on.
lacaria,
But I would love
stirring
to see
the
what
pattern
shape it
on the
would take,
coffered
or would it
ceiling.
allude
All right.
to
We have the
shapeless
stirring. Now,
form
remember
after
the
so
stirring
many
from the first
arrows
stanza?
and triangles?
We
Or
have
drawing it.
lilacs
I don't
out of the
know.
dead land,
I
mixing
don't
memory and desire, stirring
death by
dull
water.
roots with spring rain. April stirred.
He missed
Now
a
what
Phoenician,
happens when
a
we stir
fortnight
with this
dead.
giant
Forgot the
image
cry of gulls,
of her
and the deep
and the
sea
candle
swell,
and the light
and the
and
profit and
jewels
loss.
and this radiance, this and now there's
A
smells
current
and they're
undersea
stirring the
picked his
smells
bones in whispers as he rose and
very
fell.
telling
he
line,
passed the stages of
drowning the
his age and
sense
youth,
in
entering
odors.
the whirlpool.
Okay, if the drown is being sensed in
Gentile
odors,
or
what
Jew,
it must be
O
being
you who
drowned.
turn the wheel and look to windward, consider
the
Phoebus,
sight also
who was
must
once
be
handsome
drowned,
and
no?
tall as you.
must be being.
Wow.
Yeah, try that
So
one out.
we
For
did
size.
talk about these Phoenician
Thanks, Mr. Eliot.
sailors.
I should put that in a poem of
What
my
stands
own.
out to me most about this is
Stirring the pattern on the coffered ceiling. Huge seawood fed
a fortnight
with copper.
dead. It took him
Burned
being a
green and
fortnight dead
orange,
to forget
framed
the
by the
cry of
colored
gulls
stone. You can almost smell the seawood.
and the deep sea
in which
swell
sad
and the profit
light
and loss.
a carved dolphin swam.
Elliot, you got me on my knees for you, man. You're telling me it's going to take
Above
me
the
14
antique mantle
days,
was
that's what a fortnight
displayed
is?
as though a
This guy-
window
hold up!
gave
This guy's
upon
got
the silver
fortnight in his
sea
poem?
The change of Philomel by the barbarous
Hold
king
up!
so rudely
Talking
forced.
fortnight!
Yet there the nightingale
We love Fortnite! We
filled
love
all
Fortnite!
the desert
we love
with
Fortnite,
inviolable
we love
voice,
Fortnite,
and still
we,
she
we,
cried.
we.
And still the world pursues
We love Fortnite!
jug
We love
jug
Fortnite!
to dirty ears.
You're telling me.
Okay, we kind of get the point in like the first 12
That-
lines that
It takes
It's-
him
there's something
14
beautiful
days after
here.
he dies to forget. It's kind of like the
I'll say
chicken
it
with the
again.
head cut off phenomenon.
this radiant,
Oh, we're laughing
giant,
at- oh, look at-
brilliant light
oh, look-
expanding.
Ooh,
All the
the chicken's
smells
running
you
with
could
his head cut
want,
off.
the feeling.
Considering the
tapestry
lifespan of a
scene,
human
that
compared
all
to
your
the chicken,
senses are
it should be no surprise that-
because there's so much.
it might not be
But
immediate.
If you do you want to see beauty?
hold up right now. Hey,
They make a good video.
hey, you want to see beauty or not?
And what I'm immediately in the
Well,
afterlife,
here it is.
or
Here it
if I
is.
am
You
in
got
the
20
immediate- in
lines
the
of
afterlife, I'm
the
immediately
most beautiful
judged.
thing you could see. You got Philomel.
Who's to
which
say-
the reference eludes me?
There, we don't know that there's
But
not
the
a
Nightingale
span of 14
reference
days
does not elude me.
after
the
we're
Nightingale
dead.
does not. Oh, to the Nightingale, John.
Now,
How close can I fly to poetry?
do I believe this?
Like you. I'm gonna do it. I'm
Not
gonna do it.
necessarily.
I kind of. This is really cool, funny to. It's cool. The
cool,
Nightingale
man.
filled
Let's talk
all
about it.
The desert
Uh,
with inviolable voice. Might as well shake my.
I don't
booty
think I've
because
ever
that's
had
so
this
good.
thought in Eliot. This had me thinking.
You're shake my booty for beauty.
And yeah,
I'm gonna shake my booty full of beauty.
it seems
I'm
in
gonna
this,
shake my booty full
in
of
this
beauty.
as we approach the climax of the poem,
You have
or
now
chapter
20-something
part
lines
5,
of
what the
raw
thunder said.
beauty, and still she cried,
Beautiful. Sorry.
and still
we have
the
so much. We
world
have profit and
pursues
loss. We have
jug
again, the mention of
jug
the sea. We
to
have
dirty
bones,
ears.
rose and fell, age and youth, Gentile or Jew. These eternal
Help!
really is.
Help me! It could stand. It could stand on its own as a poem, but him putting it
I don't need to say
as part 4
I really
in
don't.
the Wasteland.
I will. Let me condense.
Oh man, if I'm gonna have to, I gotta deliver a verdict on the Wasteland by the end. I can read all this poetry. We can have all this poetry. You can check
Here
out
we
my
are.
YouTube videos. You can read
Part
my
5,
books.
but still,
You're gonna
we're
down to
cry.
about 50 lines.
And
What the
still,
Thunder said.
the world
What the
pursues.
Thunder said. Let's take a look at these titles.
But
Real
he
quick.
says
Part
she.
1,
Uh,
the burial
Eliot
of the
using
dead.
she.
Part 5,
See you,
what the
Eliot.
Thunder said.
And other
Wait a second.
withered
What comes
stumps
first, thunder
of
or lightning?
time.
Okay, so this
were
is what the
told
Thunder
upon
said.
the walls.
So lightning
Staring
comes
forms
first. We've
leaned
already
out,
seen the lightning. Now
leaning.
here's what the Thunder said.
Hushing, the room enclosed. Double lean? Damn, this guy's pulling out
After
a
the
double lean.
torchlight red,
That's pretty striking.
great
Footsteps shuffled
on sweaty
on the
faces
stair.
after the frosty silence
Under the firelight,
in the gardens.
under the brush, her hair
after
spread
the
out in
agony
fiery
in
points
stony
glowed
places,
into
the
words.
shouting and the crying,
Then would be
prison and
savagery
palace
still.
and reverberation of thunder of spring over distant mountains.
I almost
He
want to
who was
bang my
living
head
is
so
now
much
dead.
to not.
He who were living are now dying with little patience.
I want to bang my head still because of how much he's making the atoms in my head fucking. There was so much beauty. There's so much beauty, and
Here is no
Her
water,
hair
but
was-
only rock.
her hair
Rock
spread
and no
out in
water,
fiery points.
and the sandy road.
Are you kidding me? Her
The road
becoming a
winding
phoenix.
above
Next time
among
you
the
catch your
mountains,
girl
which
with her
are
hair on
mountains of
fire
rock without
and it looks
water.
beautiful,
If there
give
were
me a
water,
ring,
we
would
should
ya?
Stop and drink amongst the
Glowed
rock.
into-
One cannot stop or think.
And that glowed into words.
Is dry and feet
then
are
would
in
be
the
savagely
sand.
still. All right, now we got
If there
now
were
we got
only
dialogue.
water amongst the rock,
My nerves are
dead
bad
mountain
tonight.
mouth of
Yes,
curious
bad. Stay with me.
teeth that
Speak
cannot
to me.
spit. Here
Why
one
do you
can
never
neither
speak?
stand nor lie nor
Speak.
sit. There's not
What
even
are you thinking
silence
of?
in the mountains.
What thinking?
But dry,
What?
sterile thunder
I never know what
without
you're
rain.
thinking.
There's not
Think.
even solitude in the mountains, but red, sullen faces.
I think we
sneer
are in
and
Rat's
snarl
Alley
from
where the
doors
dead
of
men
mud-cracked
lost their
houses.
bones.
If there were
What is
water
that noise?
and no rock, if there
The
were
wind
rock
under
and
the
also
door.
water
What is
and
that noise
water,
now? What
a
is the wind
spring,
doing?
a pool
Nothing
among the
again,
rock.
nothing.
If there were the sound of
Do
water
you know
only,
nothing? Do you
not
see
the
nothing? Do you
cicada
remember
and
nothing?
dry grass singing,
I remember those
but
are
sound
pearls
of
that were in
water
his
over a
eyes.
rock.
Are
where
you
the
alive or
hermit
not?
thrush
Is there
sings
nothing in your
the
head?
pine trees.
But
Drip, drop, drip,
that
drop,
Shakespearean
drop,
rag.
drop,
It's so
drop.
elegant, so
But there is
intelligent.
no water.
What shall I do now? What shall I do? I shall rush out as I am and walk the street with my
Who
hair
is the
down
third
so.
who walks
What shall we do
always
tomorrow? What shall we
beside
ever
you?
do? The hot water at 10. And if it rains, a closed car at 4.
I gotta
We
come.
shall play.
I'm
a game of
overloading
chess.
here, man. I'm going gigawatt,
Pressing
man.
lidless
This
eyes
line
and waiting for a
near the
knock
end
on the door.
I'm.
All right,
okay
so
to be
here he
lost.
has
I'm
a
lost for a
dialogue
second.
with. I assume
Are you
it's
kidding
his
me?
wife. I like to think it's. his wife.
What's with our notion?
What
I say
might
our
do
because
on
I
a
have
day
it
where I'm
too.
feeling
We
rather,
got to understand every line. It's truly not how it is.
post-apocalyptic.
What the
But-
hell has gotten into
My
our heads where
God.
we have to
Hey,
think,
after
man,
everything
every
Eliot
single
said,
thing I
after
must
everything we've
understand.
seen
I
Eliot
must
say,
understand it. I did not
the wife,
understand
speak
that.
to me.
Oh my God. Oh
Why
my
do you never
God. That
speak?
I do not
Speak.
understand.
It
Oh,
doesn't
I
have
do
to
not
be
currently
wife. We know
understand
there's a
that.
she
Oh no.
in-
Oh no. Oh no.
The only character
Holy
mentioned so
crap.
far.
Holy
besides the
crap.
allusions
Crap
to
my.
she, so-
Oh shite.
Hey, speak.
Oh.
Hey, why don't you? I never know
Mount
what you're
shite.
thinking. Think. Yeah, come on.
I
And
must
then when he has
understand.
something
I
to
must
say,
understand. I'm not saying I'm not advocating for the opposite. Like,
I think
oh,
we
don't
are in
understand.
Rat's
Oh,
Alley,
no nothing.
where the
no
dead
ignorance,
men lost
no
their
ignorance.
bones.
It's just it's okay to be lost now and then, man. It's okay. Well,
Mr. Elliot, hello.
this is the beauty
Welcome
of Eliot.
to your session.
He's not really necessarily saying this is
first of
okay.
all, I
He's
gotta
saying
commend
this
you
is what it is. This is
having
is
the
what's
courage
happening.
to
You
show
are
up to
lost.
Therapy.
I
today.
swear to God.
And I'd like to get right to it.
I'm no spring chicken.
What the hell
I
gives you the
tend to
right?
think I'm right about a lot of things, and
to
I am. I
write
am
such
right
great
about a lot of
poetry.
things.
And
A
then
lot
when it comes
of
to
things.
talking to someone, you are
But
unable
even
to
then,
say anything but.
I look back.
I think we are in Rat's Alley, where the dead men lost their.
Oh
bones.
right, I was
Really, Mr. Elliot?
misunderstanding.
That's what you want to
So
say to someone.
for about
For the
12,
last
16,
Mr.
20
Elliot, you
lines
know
here,
what?
I'm like, okay,
I must say,
Here's no water,
I
but only
sympathize.
rock. Rock and no water in the
Holy.
sandy road. The road winding above among the
Thinking
mountains,
all this scene.
which are mountains of rock without
Guys,
water.
if you're
If
watching
there
this,
were
if you made it
water,
this
we
far,
should
first
stop
of all,
and drink amongst the rock. One cannot stop or think.
means a lot.
We flash back for a second.
Second of all,
when he's talking to his wife, my nerves are bad tonight. Why do you never speak?
I really can't
Speak.
talk
What
like
are you
this unless I
thinking of?
have this right.
I know
here.
you're not
Maybe
thinking,
I
think.
could. Maybe I could.
If
I
there
could.
were water, we should stop and drink.
And even
Amongst the
then,
rock, when
all
one
that being
cannot
said,
stop
I
or
know
think. Sweat is
we
dry
see
and
by
feet
my
are in the
by
sand.
this
If
that
there were only
I
water
can
amongst
sense
the rock.
that I tend to do this a lot.
lot.
Mouth of
But,
carious teeth. That
when I'm
cannot
trying to
spit.
get my point
Here,
across.
one can neither stand nor lie nor sit. There is not even
Hey, what's that noise?
silence.
What's that noise
in
now?
the
What's the
mountains.
wind doing? Nothing again. Nothing.
Nothing?
Going back again. In the mountains, there you find German.
After all he said, all he can come up was nothing. He hasn't mentioned the word nothing once.
Oh, but I read and I went.
Clearly, this isn't nothing. And
But
what's he
now
saying
that
to his
there's-
wife
there's
who's
not
inquiring?
Silence in the mountains.
That's me screaming
Thunder
for Eliot.
without rain.
That's me atoning for him.
Just imagine that sound: dry,
In the-
sterile
In the
thunder without rain.
strictest sense of the word. Do you remember
Maybe
nothing?
Elliot's trying to evoke.
This is the dude who talks about memory
trying
and
to imagine
desire
the
and
most
going down to the
suffering
Starnberg
possible from
he
our
is
safe
Mary and
place.
talking about being
We're talking
free in a
about-
mountain and going south for winter,
There's
hiding
not
under
even
a shadow rock
solitude
and the shadow
in
that
the
comes
mountains.
after you
Oh,
at
God.
night.
Now,
Talking about a big
talking
giant
but
candlelight
red
glow.
sullen faces swirl from doors of mud-cracked houses. If there are
Very-
water and no rock, if there are rock and also water and
I guess I
water,
should
a
make it
spring,
clear
a
what
pool
I'm
on the
trying to
rock,
say.
If there was a sound of water, only not the cicada.
A game of chess
Running water
also.
and cicada,
What, a
bars
talk-
and dry grass singing, but sound of water over rock where the hermit thrush sings
Life
in
as
the
a game
pine
of
trees.
chess. If
Drip,
he would have
drop,
opened on a
drip,
game
drop,
of chess, that would have been.
drop.
But there is no water.
What's the word? Hold up, I have it. I have it on the tip of my tongue. That would have been, in his words.
There was
actually
so
quite
much
poor,
control.
quite poor to open up on a game of chess.
There's
But he's
control
saying-
here, but
talking
in,
to
in
his
another
wife
way.
as he
There
goes,
was so much control.
What he's
in the
written. What
first
his
stanza,
part
in the first
is
section
saying.
of
Part
the
two.
polarities
Uh,
of the opposites of dualities
being so
of the revolving of the in and out.
Kind of reminds me when Anna.
Here
she's
it's
like, "Yeah, I listened
here
to your book.
it's not quite panic. It's not quite sublime.
Uh,
It's just the wasteland. This is what the thunder
The
said.
depth. I forget.
This is what the thunder said. By the
was expressed to me.
He's making it what the thunder said.
Oh, that Shakespearean rag. It's so elegant, so intelligent.
We see the flash of lighting. I'm trying to get my mind. I gotta put thunder on or something. This is what the thunder said.
What shall I do now?
If-
What shall
if
I
for
do?
a second we-
I shall rush out as I
I'm
am and
thinking
walk
this
the
out
street with my
with-
hair down.
with
What shall we do
you guys.
tomorrow? What shall we
I
ever
don't know
do?
the answer.
I
But
mean,
if
that's
for
a damn
second
good
we
question.
remember,
Especially
that-
considering
that
the
play
facts
with
that we've seen.
April
What should
being
we
the
do?
coolest month, breeding,
Dude,
lilacs.
Listen, I don't cuss a lot, all right? So
spring,
every time I cuss, it should be a red flag in your head.
mixing,
Every time you
memory,
cuss, you might as well
desire,
just
this idea that the seasons and our thoughts are
What shall I do?
more
I ask myself this
intertwined
every-
than we like to think. And yes,
hour.
the weather
And
is
maybe every couple
the
minutes,
weather
maybe.
matters.
What shall I do? What shall I ever do?
I trust the other
Hot water
poets
at
that have
10,
said
and if
this.
it
Don
rains, a
Revell,
close car
John
at 4, and we
Ashbery.
shall play a game of chess.
When you're out, when it's windy outside,
Pressing
lidless eyes
Well,
and waiting for
that's
a
gotta
knock
mean something.
upon the door. What does it mean to you? Something's
What?
happening. You help make that windy. What did
When
you do?
Lil's husband got demobbed, I said,
if you don't believe that,
I didn't mince my words. I said to her myself, hurry up, please, it's time.
We can still
Now
hang out.
Albert's coming back. Make yourself a bit
So,
smart.
What
He'll
the
want to
thunder
know
said.
what you done with that money.
What we as thunder said when we hear
Get yourself
thunder,
some teeth.
what it does.
He did.
Imagine every time you hear thunder,
You have
an
them all
entire
out,
wasteland
Will,
just
and get a
happens.
nice set. He said, I swear.
And I don't think Eliot would
Caroline,
disagree. I don't
I
think
can't bear to
Eliot
look at you.
would put his
no more
poem.
can't I said.
I don't think
Think
Eliot
of poor Albert.
or
He's been
any
in the
poet
army
worth
4
his
years.
weight
He wants a
in
good
penny
time.
stocks
And if you don't give it to him,
would
there's others will, I said. Oh,
say,
is there,
you know
she
what?
said. Something
My
like that, I
poetry is
said.
better than
Then
what
I'll
the
know who to
thunder
think,
said.
she said, and give me a straight look. Hurry up, please.
Wait,
it's
where-
time.
where are you?
If you don't like
Where
it,
you
you can
at?
get on with it, I said. Others can pick and choose if you can't.
Are you
But if
okay?
Albert makes off, it won't be for lack of telling. You ought to be ashamed, I said. Look so antique. And her only 31.
So this is
I
what the
can't help
thunder
it, she
said.
said, pulling a long
After
face. It's
all
them
that,
pills I
after-
took to bring it off, she said. She's had 5
Skipping
already, and
around,
nearly died
hip hop
again,
dropped
George.
water.
The chemist said it would be
red
all right, but I've
faces,
never
no
seen
silence, no
been the
solitude,
same.
true
You were a proper
wasteland.
fool, I said. Well, if
Who
Albert won't
is
leave
the
you alone,
third
there it is, I
who
said.
walks
What you
always
get married for
beside
if you don't want children? Hurry up, please, it's time. Well, that Sunday Albert was home. They had a hot game.
Great question.
And they asked me into dinner to
When
get
I
the media
count,
bit hot.
there are
Hurry
only
up, please,
you
it's
and I
time.
together.
Hurry up, please, it's time.
When I look
Good night,
ahead
Bill. Good night,
up the
Lou.
white
Good night,
road,
May. Good night,
there's
ta-ta.
always
Good
another
night.
one walking
Good night.
beside
Good
you,
night, ladies. Good night,
gliding
sweet ladies.
wrapped
Good
in a
night.
brown
Good night.
mantle, hooded. I do not know whether a man or a woman, but who is that on the other side of you?
So we obviously
Elliot's
have
asking the question. Make your
a,
questions count. Also,
a look
whether
at
a man or a
conversation
woman,
here.
we've been.
What conversation
I
might
have
look
admitted
like.
my
Poetry's not
biases
quite the same as
of
conversation.
man. I see everything as man, woman. Ooh,
Am I
attitude.
brave enough to keep going into the
Father,
fire
father.
sermon? That was a game of chess. Can we go to
Elliot's
the
gone
fire
through this.
sermon?
He's had he, she.
Frick, I
he's
don't
had
know
the
if
game
I'm
of
the-
chess
I'm
with the
brave
husband and
enough.
wife.
I think we'll
he's
have
had
to wait for a part
someone
two.
Because
get her
it's
teeth
loaded, I
removed, taking birth control.
Yeah, I'm waiting
He's
for part
had
two. I'm hot as hell.
Tiresias, an old man,
Which maybe
with some
makes me
breasts,
right for the fire
but
sermon.
now he can't even tell if it's man or woman anymore. What is that sound high in the air? God, I hope.
Anyone else with me? By the end, he hopes he just delivers the
we'll understand everything for a second, just for a second. I know I'm anti-understanding and all of that. Maybe understanding is not the right. Maybe he'll just make us see. Not that it has to be a gotcha moment or a damn that was a zinger. Without, I really am holding
our hands
that
this is not
everything comes out all right.
This is not the same mode.
But who is that on the other side of you? What is that sound high in the air?
And as I'm reading it, I hear that
murmur of maternal lamentation.
The modernity of it.
Who are those hooded
I don't
hordes
mean
swarming
modernity.
over endless plains,
Oh.
stumbling in cracked
Like,
earth,
this is-
ringed by the flat horizon only?
I don't know.
What
I
is the
mean
city
that
over the
it's
mountains,
eternal.
cracks and reforms and
I'm
bursts
getting a
in the
phone call
violet
from my
air?
father.
Falling towers,
Jerusalem,
You know what?
Athens,
I am going to
Alexandria,
answer
Vienna,
this.
London, Unreal.
Daddy, I'm ready!
Unreal Engine, Unreal Tournament 2003. Are you kidding me? This guy is traveling through all time, all space. He's seeing all the major cities. And he's asking, wait, what is that? Who is that? He's with us. Are you with me?
How do you close this?
A woman
I feel like Dexter Morgan.
drew her
How do you close
long
this?
black
Anyway,
hair
yeah, we
out
can close
tight
doors.
and fiddled
as
whisper
long as they agree
music
with me, you guys.
on those
You guys agree and
strings,
disagree,
and
it's first.
bats with baby faces
Vergessen
in
Sie
the
für eine
violet
Sekunde,
light
dass
whistled
wir haben einen
and beat
Dokumentär
their wings
zu
and
schauen.
crawled head downward
Auf unsere
down a
zweite
blackened
Monitor.
wall
Vergessen Sie das.
and upside down in
Erstens
air
müssen wir diese,
were towers tolling
Kette-
reminiscent bells that kept the hours and voices
Französisch.
singing out of
Eine Mission
empty
hatte.
cisterns and
Der
exhausted
Mission
wells.
ist zu Examen
What a
der-
frightening image.
der Division.
Upside down in air were towers tolling reminiscent
besser
bells
als das.
that kept the hours and voices singing out of empty cisterns and exhausted wells. Picture the Twin Towers for a moment, upside down, with bells on top and loud screaming and empty caverns. Ah! Ah! And a woman drawing her long black hair out tight. Ah! And she's fiddling whisper music on those strings. And bats with baby faces in the violet light. Upside down towers. Whistled. The bats are whistling, flapping their wings, beating them, and crawled head downward down a blackened wall. Upside down in air were towers, tolling reminiscent bells. So. That kept the hours. The time's still there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. All my life I've lived by hours. Wake up on time. It's very frightening. This is This is horror. Wow. Okay. You got my attention. In this decayed hole,
I had a great Spanish
among the
conversation.
mountains, we're on the last 2 pages. Among the mountains,
My wife's husband
in the
and-
faint moonlight, the grass is singing over the tumbled graves.
The slip can go
About
so
the
far. you know.
chapel,
It
there
can go
is
so
the
far.
empty chapel. Only the wind's home.
Should I go to Diamond City and tell Piper the truth? Should I tell
Only the
her?
wind's allowed in there? What?
How do you not
The
attack
grass
Diamond
singing,
City?
by the way,
Yeah.
bringing Whitman back in this last
This is the wasteland,
climax.
as T.S.
The
Eliot.
grass is singing. It has no windows, and the door swings. Dry bones can harm no one.
Can't believe I'm
Only a
reading T.S.
cock
Eliot
stood on the
for a really
roof
hard
tree.
train.
Cocorico, cocorico, in a flash of lightning, then a damp gust bringing rain. Okay.
You are now being recorded.
After that horrifying stanza, which, my God. After we flew through every big city and Eliot was questioning where are
This
we,
is
we
major.
had the
This is a
black
major
woman and the baby bats and the
Pear,
black
son,
darkened
I'm gonna be
wall
reading
and
in
the
the corner,
towers
son. I'll
upside
actually be
down
reading
and the
my-
screaming of all
I will be taking off
kinds.
my galoshes.
And then we had chapel, the wind is there, and then the cock.
Do you guys have any reading chairs? Listen, hey,
Ganja
buddy.
or ganga was
Vous
sunk,
n'aurez pas à me rendre
That's the
and
visite.
doctor,
the
okay.
limp
It's a doctor,
leaves
okay.
waited
You have
for
reading chairs?
rain.
Vous pouvez jeter un œil à mes blessures. D'accord. Ne bougez plus et
While
laissez-moi
the
passer.
black
Take a look at
clouds
my
Nos
Doctor.
gathered
technologies de
far
pointe, nous sommes
distant
toujours
over
incapables de soigner le
Himmel.
rhume banal.
The
cannot
jungle
heal the
crouched,
They cannot heal.
pumped in silence.
What?
Talk about beast
found
in the
history of
jungle.
novels.
Henry James is. Ooh, what beast is crouching in the jungle? No, Eliot says the jungle itself
How you say the
crouched.
common cold?
This guy. It's all branches of study. He's got biology. He's got
What'd you say, Julia?
geography. He's
C'est vrai ce
got
que l'écran raconte. La surface doit faire vraiment très peur.
mineralogy. He's got meteorology,
It is scary. The
history,
surface is scary, but wait, wait, wait.
Seulement
psychology.
Quentin pouvait arrêter de raconter ces histoires stupides.
If only he could stop telling these stupid stories.
The
Yes.
jungle crouched, humped
Cet
in
endroit est vraiment
silence.
incroyable, vous trouvez pas?
Then
Yes,
spoke
it is
the
incredible. This
thunder.
place is incredible.
Papa dit que vous êtes le
Da.
papa de père, mais il a l'air beaucoup plus vieux que vous.
Dada.
Yes, I am Pear's
What have
father.
we given?
He's older than me. It's
My
because I was
friend,
frozen.
blood shaking my heart, the awful daring
Just
of
wanna talk
a
to me.
moment's
Let's
surrender,
go.
which an age of prudence can never retract. By this, and
The
this
synthetic. We're
only,
talking, bro. This is why this guy hates synthetics.
Lorenz, certains
which
commencent
is
à avoir
not
un
to
ego
be
démesuré
found
aussi.
in our
Je n'aime pas ça.
obituaries or
People are beginning to have a big
memories
ego around here.
draped
Me
Ceux qui
by
too.
the
disent
None of us is
beneficent
Ils sont
fixed.
censés
or
représenter
under
le futur de
seals
l'humanité.
broken by the
He really
lead
hates the
solicitor.
solicitor. What would he think about an art form such as this? Huh?
Da.
What do you say about that, Lawrence?
Les gens
Yeah,
ne
Lawrence.
sur
Oh, what's that
heard
doing?
the
J'ai de la
key.
chance d'être ici.
Turn in the door once and turn
Yes.
once only.
Newton,
We
certains
think
d'entre
of
nous
the
remettront
key.
sans doute en question
Each
votre
is
nomination à la
present
tête de
of
l'Institut.
the key.
N'y prêtez pas
Each
attention.
confirms a prison.
Okay, he's saying some of us are in doubt and just don't pay any attention.
Only at nightfall, ethereal
Let me see what this
rumors
Greek is.
revive for a moment
The music
a
cues
broken
even?
Coriolanus.
Ancient Greek
Da.
dictionary.
Dictionary.
The boat
So,
responded
Eliot, including Shelley.
gaily to
You
the
didn't forget
hand
Shelley, my
expert with
dear.
sail and oar.
Harold
The
Bloom would
sea
say. I was
was
watching this
calm.
Harold Bloom lecture and he's like,
Your heart would have
yes,
responded
as Shelley
gaily
teaches us that this,
when
I subscribe to
invited,
what Shelley
beating
says.
obedient
In that
to
the
controlling
sublime
hands.
Saves us from the torture of pleasure.
In these last moments, in this,
Looking like
this
an
climax,
80-year-old Larry David that decided to
the awful
books instead.
daring
And I'm
of a
wondering,
moment's
this is what
surrender,
not pleasure looks like
which
when
an
anything has
age
friends.
of prudence can
I
never
have friends too.
retract.
I'm not
By
gonna
this,
I like Shelley.
and this only,
These are my honest thoughts
we
on
have
the table.
existed.
There's no way that T.S. Eliot.
You want your answer? He's saying the answer is an awful daring of a moment's
There is
surrender.
no letting go
I dare
of
you.
all influence for a second to be
I
my
dare you to surrender
self-resolution.
the
No, sirree. He had to have read it.
I dare the
And if
moment to
I,
be surrendered.
Therefore, if I, to borrow from my friend Spinoza in his structure,
It's not to
in
be
the
found in
axiomatic,
obituaries
if
or
I
memories
can therefore
dripped
now
by the
postulate.
beneficent
In
spider.
short, therefore, and you will,
Or under
and he
seals
responded,
broken
I will
by the
to
lean
die.
solicitor. In her empty
kidding
room.
me?
Dayadva. I have heard the key. Turn in the door once and turn once only. We think of the key. Each in his prison, thinking of the key. Each confirms a prison. Hey, what's the key, man? Hey, man, you got the key? You got a key? Hey, what's the key to this? Key to what? Key! What are you talking about key? Why do we need keys?
Oh, well, I hope he gives me the key.
Me every time I read something. Only at nightfall, ethereal rumors revive for a moment a broken Coriolanus.
Yes, please. This is turning into Charlie Rose, Mr. Eliot. Please.
Coriolanus being
Mr. Eliot, as you know,
Shakespeare's one of his most noble
none of us.
souls.
We ain't got no time for that, Mr. Eliot. Reading here.
Who stood on business, as it were, but I can't really
Not even those of us who have
someone
time to
who
read, have time to read, Mr. Eliot.
is individual,
You have plenty
truly
of time, though,
individual,
says our friend Donald Ravelli.
and not a
Hence
follower
my
of the
opinionless,
crowd. Da,
stature.
Danyata. The boat responded
So,
gaily
without further ado, Mr. Eliot,
to the hand
my
expert
step quietly. Listen to the
with
way-
sail and oar.
The voice.
The sea was calm.
Excuse
You
me.
have a calm
Hello.
say in the last
Hemingway.
12 lines.
You know that sound you're looking for? Well, listen to
Your
this.
heart would have responded gaily when
Hold up.
invited.
Hey,
You
Mr. Eliot,
obedient,
you know that sound you've been looking for?
controlling hands.
Well, listen to this. That on repeat. Tell me, what kind of AI is going to find this? Google's got that shit. But Google, don't be slacking now.
Next time you invite me,
It
I'll
comes back to
respond
me.
gaily. I
It
sat
comes back to
upon
me,
the
I'm sorry to
shore,
say.
fishing.
Man and woman.
with the arid plain behind me. There is water now. There is
You didn't say
water.
man and woman. Why was that the first thing?
How else is he fishing?
I have things I want to say.
Bridge
I'm
is
scared to say
falling
them.
down, falling down, falling
better read my
down.
book.
Passas così
The fact that we
no
can't talk about
foca
it,
che li
that,
fina.
in a nutshell.
Then
should be
he
the answer.
did himself in
Can't talk about man and woman, huh?
refining fire. Okay. Quando fiammuti che li don o swallow, le prince da catena
Hemingway Gardening Man and
ora
Woman.
boli.
Maybe that's just my bias. Man
These
and woman.
fragments I have
Is that
shored
my
against
bias?
my
I keep going back to
ruins.
it. Do you want an honest peeling back of the mind or not,
Hieronymus
mister?
not again. Data, diadvam, damyata.
Do you not want an honest peeling back of the mind, missy?
Shanti, shanti.
Do you not want an honest peeling
The
back of the
Sanskrit
mind?
for give, compassion, control.
He sounds
inner
like
peace,
Hemingway. He read
inner
his
peace,
Spengler.
Inner peace.
If you don't like this, you don't like
Ending on
NBA
give,
poetry.
compassion, and control. Give.
NPA? The
compassion,
NPA here.
control.
Is there an NPA? Hold up. I'm about
Shanti, shanti, shanti.
National Poetry Association. How do I join?
Give
I gotta be part of this. The
compassion.
Poetry Society? Are you kidding me? Who do I write a letter to?
Shanti.
They better accept me.
Give.
Why should I
Period.
read the number one on it?
Passion, compassion.
But what if I don't like
period,
it?
Control.
What if I don't like it?
Wow.
Ah!
Shanti.
I'm gonna like it. Watch. I have to. Scorpion? I already like
His
it.
major philosophical
She probably
argument.
has been around someone who's
argument
played
where
Fallout
Nietzsche
extensively.
says to
We're
Schopenhauer,
told to
who I
check our
told
shoes
you that
every
if I ever
time we
brought
put
him
them on
up,
to
he
knock
can
them
make
upside
fun of
down.
me and send me
Never,
all the
under
death
any
threats.
circumstances, put a bare foot inside a
Nietzsche
trainer or boot.
saying,
We're
where
not
did
told what to
Schopenhauer
do
get
if we
this
actually find
compassion?
inconvenient and fuck
He
my
just
life
kind
as
of
Scorpions
came up
looking
with
at me. I
it.
don't know how
That
many
was his
eyes it
weak
has,
point,
they're all fixed on me,
compassion.
apparently. They can't see that.
And hence why
Which doesn't help because all
just cried at
eyes
our
on me. Of course, my only
We
glasses are
can't
in China,
trust
so my
him.
2 eyes are
Sad.
bloody useless. But now I'm aware of gold, where there should not be gold. If something that fell from my boot and scuttled, skated, and moved with intent, its tail is lifted. Obviously, it knows who it is not like me, teenage blue me, so I shout. But like in a dream, I'm mute. I wonder if I can leap it clear enough.
Or is it
collide if
giving
it too decides to run towards my room? And did I mention
control,
something gold where there should not be gold?
inner
No, something
peace,
gold where there should not be gold. And now
inner
I find my voice
peace,
scream useless non-words. And
inner
all those
peace.
babies suddenly
Ending
run
on
tiny golden
inner
flakes scattering
peace, no
across the
outer.
kitchen
It's
floor.
all
As
inner.
doleful rebelling their
Inner
choices,
peace.
searching for their mothers. I search for mine, and we are also bloody useless, hiding from each other. And true golden babies.
Well, thanks for watching my T.S. Eliot video.
Let me go to the bloody desert.
Please subscribe for more. The next 1,000 subscribers, I will be
anxiety of influence.
I don't know.
Right here.
I got nothing.
Joyce and Penelope's monologue.
I hope you.
But before that, I thought about Sylvia Plath. I'm aware of gold. I'm aware of gold. That's pretty good. Spengler has a paragraph about gold, and he actually says that. Let me get this right. Some old culture, I think the Magian culture, which is like the early Christian, and he kind of pals in with Arabian culture. This culture places gold high up in a certain art, and Spengler kind of breaks from the cultural mold and says to ourselves like that we are attracted to gold and not for monetary value, which is, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Girl's getting attacked by a scorpion, and I'm over here, well, Spengler, I should be like, yo, watch out for that scorpion! Which I am. I'm just kind of an a-hole. Like, dang. I don't want to say this is the dad in me, my father, but it's something in me where it's like, I don't want to say the Tony Soprano in me, you know. We're told to check our shoes every time we put them on, to knock them upside down to never know. Can we put this on the table that I have Tony Soprano and Meadow Soprano in me? Can we end the discussion on the room? I got a number Tony Soprano. My brother's name is Tone. We're out here just reading in Fallout 4. It started off with us, wanting to watch a documentary. Frankly, I'm hungry. Melville was right. I've broken my digester. My gosh. Pulling out a gun in the Institute? Oh! You better hide that thing, buddy. Coming back to Fallout 4 with the gun that is the wasteland. Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers.
Apparemment, ce synthétique renégat à Libertalia était un vrai danger public.
Hold up.
Heureusement qu'il est de retour.
What time is it? 1? Hold up. No, we actually should be at the same time. But nope, we're going to simulate. We're simulating. Oh, Jean Baudrillard. I will not talk about Baudrillard. I'm frankly and frightfully behind. Oh. Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow. Feeding. We've got feeding, breeding, mixing. Lilacs, dead, cruelty, desire, spring, root, winter. Can you pack more in 6 lines? He's packing the snow. Feeding. A little life with dried tubers. Remember the first time we learned how important language was when we learned about how many words Eskimos have for snow. We thought it was a cool, good fact. Didn't foresee we'd get this much into language. The important things? Shakespeare might be better for that. Summer surprised us. Summer's gonna surprise me. So that's in the future and the past. Me thinking back 100 years from now. Is it just a coincidence he's right here on the table? Is it just a proclivity, a perversion?
Merci d'avoir ramené ce synthétique. C'était du bon boulot.
The synths are talking to me at night. The scientists might be the synth. I still gotta find out who's right on the terminal. I gotta go to Diamond City. Good game. It's on the 8th. Summer surprise is coming over the Summer GZ. Right before the 8th and 9th line, between the 8th and the 9th. There's something undiscovered about the 8th, I think, by the way. Something about 8. Every other number, 8 and 5 are pretty. For every other number, I can kind of give like a between 1 and 10. I think 8 and 5. I think 5 is the most underlooked. Maybe not in our time. Maybe in our time. You want to talk numbers? Spengler says Spengler's kind of been bullying me and my inability to know math. I've been kidnapped by father. My Pip-Boy is not working. Pip-Boy on. Open Pip-Boy. Open. Pip. There he is. Okay. That makes it a good game. The technology fails. For the sake of the wasteland. Banger! Banger alert! Shouts out Stephen shouting. It's a banger alert. It's a banger alert. Pilo! Pilo! Music has to match it.
Do you see how they're just a bunch of tiny little butterflies all together? Bunched up?
Some people eat shrimp. Some people eat cheese. I eat little wiener.